All right, we're back for Angry Late Night, all you snowboarders of the internet. Sorry about earlier with the live stream. A pack of like feral snow weasels attacked my internet and destroyed it. That's why it cut out. Actually, I think they're just doing a bunch of construction and they fucking hit the line. But anyways, we're back for Angry Late Night. So if you got questions, pop them over in the chat. If you want to hear stories, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. I'm gonna answer some fucking questions first, especially when I talk about the story about making the fat little skier kid piss his pants on the hill. That story was fucking priceless. So you guys will get that story. Sure enough, if you're new here for Angry Late Night, things are a little different. It's a little more rated R than PG-13, a lot more swearing. Anyways, other things that we got coming up. November 7th is Locals Appreciation Day at Underground Snowboards here in Breckenridge. If anyone needs any custom boot fitting and is coming in for opening weekend of Breckenridge, I will be around and I can meet you at the shop and do custom boot work there. So hopefully we can get this thing rolling here. So yeah, let's see what we got going on here. Looks like we already got a super chat from Michael Anderson. Sweet. Thanks, bud. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Looks like we got some. Let's see. Wait, hang on a minute. Let's see what we got here. Has anyone got any questions? Oh, there we go. Jonathan Kosiana. Hey, man, going to City, mainly want to ride the steeps. How much of Utah is it possible to ride in a week? So from Park City, you're about 45 minutes to Powder Mountain. Awesome. Got to go there. You're about an hour to the other canyons, give or take on conditions, but you should be able to hit Snowbird, Solitude, Brighton, Park City, Canyons, Powder Mountain, and why do I feel like I'm missing something else in there? If you do a little bit more driving, you might be able to hit a few more. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see what else we got going on. L Stacker Adventures. Any Halloween videos coming out? No, we don't do themed videos. We're a fucking snowboard website and content creator. We're not, like, making themed. That's next year's thing. Let's see. Let's go. Let's see. Chuck Van, which board should I get? Arbor, Westmark, Camber, Yes Typo, or Ride Twin Pig? 210, 5'7", mostly riding groomers, side hits, and starting out in the park with the odd day of wet Australian pow. I would get the Typo. You're going to get that camber underfoot with rocker in the tips, which will make it a little bit better in pow, but it'll also make it better for pressing. You're still going to have camber, so you're going to get snap and pop. That's the board that I would definitely get. Berto and Fuso. Hi there, Avran. Question. I'm looking for a older secondhand board to learn flatland tricks and butters. I've ridden for 30 days in total. My weight's 160 pounds. Height 5'7" or 5'10", shoe size 8. All right, so pick up a last year's board. You're looking for what you're looking for. The best bang for the buck will be the DC Ply. They usually sell right around this time of the year between $189 and $230 US. So you can pick up a last year's brand new for relatively cheap. Gee, I picked up some DC boots at my local shop in Southern California. The shop employee knew his stuff. Well, why don't you tell us what shop it was so we can help send people there, man? So, yeah. Let's see. Tom T, 5 a.m. over here, so let's do this. Oh, Jesus, 5 a.m., man. You're getting up early for this one. Let's see what we got going on here. Cynthia, what's worse, someone snowboarding with ski poles or someone skiing using two snowboards with 90-degree binding angles as skis? Snowboarding with ski poles, duh. Fuck. No. There's a reason you snowboard, not to have a pole. Like, no. No, that's just, that person's retarded. Let's see what we got going here. Jacob Dopeker. Yo, move to Bellingham and ride Baker. It makes sense for you. I never want to live in Washington ever again. I did it. I don't want to do it ever again. I like to visit, and that's about it. I would be so miserable I would kill myself. Yeah, so there. Let's see what else we got going on here. Got it. Oh, Raul Duke turning in from Taipei, Taiwan. Hopefully your jaw feels better, because last time you tuned into a live stream, you had gotten teeth removed, if I remember correctly. So, yeah. All right. And JE says it's CBS Board Shop in Lake Forest. So evidently, if you're in Southern California, go to CBS Board Shop in Lake Forest because they know their shit. All right. Sorry. I ate a 2-pound burrito before this. It was fucking huge. It was like this big, and I ate the whole thing. Tom T, why no more love for the Yes Optimistics? Never hear a word anymore. Did the Orca or Ride Pigs make it obsolete? No. I ride so much shit I forget boards on the daily basis. The Optimistic is killer. The Y is even more killer because it's like the poor man's version of the Optimistic, and it's got more torsional flex, which really lets you just tweak that board and drive it through carves. So yeah. Yeah, so let's see what we got going on here. All right, yes, a burrito the size of a baby. Damn right that thing was a burrito the size of a baby. All right, let's see what's going on. Jack Ripper, any good snowboard sock recommendations? Haven't got proper socks ever. Well, don't wear fucking cotton. That shit's awful. It just creates an ice cave in your toes because you sweat, and then it captures it in there. And then it just freezes, and then your toes get cold, then you get frostbite, then they fall off, then your balance is fucked up, and next thing you know, you look like Adam Sandler from Mr. Deeds, and your butler's whacking you in the foot with a fire poker. Don't do it. Don't do it. What you need to do is go check out some of the new stance stuff is actually pretty decent. I hate to say it because I usually hate stance, but there's that. Smartwool is always a good one as well. I really like what they're doing over there now. So just make sure you get something that's not cotton. Whatever you do, no cotton. So yeah. Andrew Watt, how many bindings do you regularly use? I've got 4 bindings now, but I find that I only really ever use my stiff fell cores or softer now brigades, thinking of selling my drives and katanas. So I literally own 3 pairs of the exact same binding, and that is a K2 Indy that I modded with Formula heel straps and toe straps. So basically I upgraded the straps, but then didn't have the canteen of the Formula in it. I am now replacing those with Rome black labels. So I'm literally going from the second lowest end binding from K2 to the highest end binding from Rome. But I've got 1 pair that Rome just sent me. I will be getting a second and third pair as the season progresses, but I keep the same binding and I tune it exactly the same way, and I run it on everything exactly the same. That way I don't have to be like, oh, this is my stiff setup, this is my stuff setup. Nope. Literally same binding on everything. It's consistent across the board. Roadster 99 with the $5 super chat. Appreciate the content, man. Well, I appreciate the super chat. Just so everyone knows, I will be answering questions till 9:45. At 9:45, I will transition into telling you guys the awesome story of how I made a fat skier kid piss his pants at Breckenridge. So it is Angry Late Night, and you're going to get a late night story with Uncle Avran. So yeah. Let's see. Tyler Rutto, best boot for skinny feet with a size 14. I know it's the one that fits the best, but most all shops don't have size 14 in their stores on hand. Watch all your tutorials. Okay, so you need to go. Realistically, most core shops stop carrying even a size 13. It's like 12 and a half, 13 is the biggest. So a 14 they top out. You're going to need to go to a corporate store, like a box chain or something that has a broader selection, because I don't know where you are, but like out here in Colorado, we have Christie Sports and Colorado Ski and Golfs and like Breckenridge Sports, Keystone Sports, which is all owned by Vail, but they tend to carry, they can check the company and see what they carry. But if you've got a skinny foot and probably have a narrow ankle as well, Solomon's are probably going to be your best bet. Something maybe like I think the Dialogue comes in a 14, not the Dialogue wide, the regular Dialogue. And you probably want something from Solomon with like the straight jacket fit, because that's really going to tighten it down. Or you could get away with some of the Ride stuff, because I know Ride actually makes up to a size 16. But you want something that has that internal BOA system in there to really tighten it down. With K2s, the only one that I think is a little bit narrower is the Ender. I think that's the name of the boot. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know that they sent them at one point, and they fucking hurt my foot super bad. So, yeah. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Brandon Adkins, best Rad Dad binding. I want to say like feel like the Rome Katana, the Union Atlas, the Burton Cartel would be the 3 picks that I would probably go to as like the Rad Dad binding. So, yeah. Tom T, since it's late night, more stories, please. Like, did you ever meet Sean Palmer, and where does he ride these days? I didn't meet Sean Palmer, but I lived 2 houses up from his house on the Kingsbury Grade in Tahoe for a couple months. Never saw him. He was never there. I don't even know if he actually snowboards. I think he lives like in Nevada and just rides motocross, and he's kind of fat now. So there you go. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, Tyler Rutta, you're in Eagle County. Oh, okay, cool. You're in Eagle County. You should be able to shoot over to Vail Sports. They should have if they don't have it in stock, have them check because they can tell you which one of their stores they have that in. All right. Maxime Boucher, what do you think about United Shape Sports? Dude, their boards are super fun. They're being made at GP87. The board designer from there has had a lot of hand in helping shape them. I haven't ridden one that I've hated yet. Like, they all have their place in the line, and I feel like there's a lot of overlap in their line, but there's some really good stuff in there. So I really, really like what United Shapes is doing. Oh, let's see. Red Dead is watching angry PM. Well, the kid's probably awake pooping itself, so, you know, you got something to keep you entertained. I mean, you can hear the verbal diarrhea while the real diarrhea is going on. Ekid MC, do you think urethane and cork sidewalls actually make a difference? Urethane does. Urethane has a completely different ride to it than any other sidewall. You'll notice it right away when you get on it. It's the way that it allows it to flex. But the problem that I've noticed with urethane sidewalls is almost every single one of them, if you jib a lot, the edges tend to get that crack right in it, like a straight line crack down it. It's one of those things that I've noticed over and over again with urethane sidewalls is anyone that jibs excessively, they start to crack. With cork, though, I've ridden stuff with cork, and honestly, like, you hardly ever notice a difference in it. It's supposed to be more of a dampening agent. The other thing is cork rots over time. So I'm not really sure how they treated it so it wouldn't rot, but I definitely don't trust cork as much as I trust urethane. Graham Schick, you like anything from Nidecker? I like almost everything from Nidecker. They got good stuff. Like the Mosquito right back there. I like that board. That was good. Oh, let's see. Bottled and Cork. Avran, what's your favorite video edit of 1920 so far? I haven't watched any. I've got them all saved. That is tomorrow's project while I'm editing binding reviews. So, yeah. There we go. Let's see what else we got going on here. Shabashley, how much to buy Kevin for Alan? Kevin needs a new truck. If you buy him a truck, he will go meet Alan. So, and just for anyone that doesn't know, Alan Russell, super fan, we talk about him in the podcast all the time. He wants to get a tandem ninja suit so he and Kevin can wear it together and go snowboarding. I'm not sure how that would work because Alan's actually smaller than Kevin, but he's heavier. So I don't know if Alan would be the tree trunk and then like Kevin would ride on his back, or if Kevin would be like the legs and Alan would ride on his back. I don't know how this would work, but I kind of have some ideas. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, let's see. KT, thanks for all the great info. Currently riding Captain Mercury 157, Simple Pleasures 56, need bindings. Now, thinking now pilot with the Kingpin system swap between the boards 510, 210. The pilot will work on that. I think you would find it a little underwhelming for the Simple Pleasures to drive it. I think that's where a now drive would make more sense. Unless you're really trying to go for like a more surfier feel, then it would match you. But the pilot will match well with the Mercury. Oh, let's see. The Jihad Joe, Jones Frontier, Captain Mercury, or Western Range, that's 40% off. Well, the Frontier is like a beginner intermediate board, great board, but it's a beginner intermediate board. So, I mean, if you're a lower end rider, it makes sense. Captain Mercury, if I had to, you put a gun to my fucking head. You put a gun to my head and tell me I can only ride one board, I would grab a Mercury every time. The Weston Range, it's solid. 40% off is a good price on that. Kind of need to know a little bit more. Each one has its pros and cons, but I mean, if you're looking for a quiver of one, that's the Captain Mercury. If you're going a little more free ride and you're looking for a good deal, Weston Range. If you're a progressing low-level intermediate or you're coming off rental equipment, then it would be the Jones Frontier. Let's see what we got going on here. Steven Sanchez, did I miss the story of the kid pissing himself? No one has missed the story of the kid pissing himself. You have a half hour till I will tell that story. I will tell that story at 9:45 tonight. So you have a half hour. I'm going to completely just answer questions till then and kind of just discuss different things. Let's see. Tom T, if you can't say Kevin Jones, who had the freshest method of all time? Well, I think Jamie Lynn really had the freshest method of all time. Really like the way he did it. But Chris Roach was also really good as well. But if I want to go with someone that I know personally that none of you know that has the freshest method of all time, it's our old intern, Brucey. That motherfucker could tweak. He's a fat kid, too. He's fat. He was a fat kid. He could tweak a method to the point it looked like he had pulled a whole 180 with it, and then he would revert it back, and then he would just go back to normal on it. But he had a super fresh method for the longest time. Also, that man can take a Banshee bungee to the face better than anyone I know. He's taken like 3 of them to his face. So, yeah. Adam Kowal, what's the snowboard tech that a lot of people are hyped about and you personally hate? It's not necessarily tech. It's the skate banana. I fucking hate the goddamn skate banana. I fucking hate it. It's like, oh, is it an all-mountain board? Is it a park board? Is it a beginner board? Is it an expert board? We threw everything on it for marketing. Skate banana, skate banana, skate banana, skate banana. Someone's riding a skate banana, they can't fucking ride. The other thing I don't necessarily like is the current iteration of RC Tech from Never Summer. The way on the Prototype 2, where the camber zone hits, it creates a hook point right inside the foot. So the board is super catchy compared to their old RC Tech. So there's that. Let's see. What else is out there that I'm trying to think of one that I just absolutely can't stand. Oh, you know what I really don't like is all these people that are just getting caught up on waist widths and like not even. I have a size 9.5 boot and I'm booting out on a 28 waist. How the fuck are you booting out on a 28 waist? Are you just falling over? That's another one that I don't really like. So yeah. KT with the super chat. Thanks for the recommendation. Here's something for the burrito fund. Oh no, this is going to the buy Kevin a new car fund. We need to buy Kevin a new car. So yeah. Nicopolis. I ride a set of Rome cucks and ride rodeos. Just picked a sushi. What would you recommend? I would probably put the crux on the sushi over the rodeos. It's going to have a softer flexing base plate to it, which will give it a better ease of exit out of surf turns where you're like really slashing hard on it. I feel like that would be the better one. The rodeo will probably have too rigid of a base plate, so you're not going to get as much torsional twist out of it. And it's also going to feel more vibrations when you hit uneven terrain with that board. So, yeah. Chuck Van, thoughts on the Now Yes bindings? Is that Skate Tech thing just BS? No, Skate Tech is fucking phenomenal. Actually, I have a review of the Now Yes bindings coming out next month. I got to edit that together. But Skate Tech actually is friggin' legit. So the way that it rocks back and forth from toe to heel on your board when it's mounted, you actually get more power transmission to your toe when you go toe side and more on your heel. You'll notice right away, like the first time I ever rode them in Generation 1, JF sent me, I think I was one of the first people to ever do a review of them. He sent me some, and the first thing I did was a backside 180 right off the toes, and the amount of power it put right down into my toes was absolutely fucking phenomenal. And to this day, like they still transition like that, and they keep getting better with every next generation that comes out. Now Skate Tech is fully fucking legit. Fully legit. That is not a bullshit technology. So yeah. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? Carly Elfie, do you like ASIM boards? Well, I haven't emailed them yet, but I need to email Capita and tell them they're not getting their simulator back. I'm going to just send an envelope with money and they can have it. And I'm going to keep it. I like ASIM boards. They actually make sense. The current generation of stuff has come a long way. They really work out very well. That deeper heel side cut really lets you lay the board over, do what you need to do with it, and drive how you want with it. So it's it's absolutely great technology, and there's a lot of great ASIMs out there. There's some that aren't as good though, like the side cut just isn't as dialed. But yeah, there you go. Let's see what we got. Steven Sanchez, what's the worst resort on the Icon Pass? For me or in general? So for me, I think it's Winter Park. I fucking hate that place. I fucking hate Winter Park. I hate going to Winter Park. I hate everything about Winter Park. I fucking cannot stand Winter Park. You go there, and one, it's like cowboys and meth heads, and they hang out together. So you have like meth head cowboys, ranchers with a ski resort. Like you never know if you're going to come back to your car and they're stripping the wiring out of it and, you know, trying to like turn your halogen light bulbs into an apparatus to smoke thing. Like that fucking mountain's flat as fuck. The park sucks. Mary Jane is nothing but moguls. It's just a pain in the dick to get there. It's also the coldest place I've ever snowboarded with -50 Fahrenheit. I was at an on-snow demo and it was -50. So yeah. So there we go. Let's see what else. What else we got going on here? The G.I. Joe, is the air dampening and nitro bindings legit? Yes! That is another one that is fully legit. I rode a set of Phantoms for a whole season, and you could land on your heel every time and never worry about getting a heel bruise in those things. I ran that binding ragged and pretty much just destroyed a set, and that air dampening system is fully legit, is possibly one of the best heel dampening systems on the market right now. So yeah, let's see. Cy Wote, I just got union contacts new for the season, but the screws on those tend to come loose according to reviews. Would it be fine to use Loctite Blue if that happens? So those reviews that you're seeing are for the old ones. They actually, supposedly, I haven't looked at the new Contact Pros, but I know they fixed it with other ones. They put a little washer in there just so the straps wouldn't get loose on them. Unless you're talking about the actual binding screws to the board, you could use blue Loctite. Clear nail polish is better. That way, if you ever have to warranty something, they're like, you Loctited it, which I've never heard of a brand actually saying that and denying a warranty because you Loctite it, but clear nail polish will work just as well. So, yeah. Let's see. Roadster 99. How much does 4 centimeters truly affect how a board rides? Local shop has a bunch of demo boards for sale. Most are about 4 to 6 centimeters bigger than I usually ride. Is it worth it? Here's the thing. It depends on the board. Some boards, it all you get is more effective edge, and it's like ever so slightly stiffer. Other boards, it's a drastic flex increase to it. What you need to do is go to the company's website, look at the tech specs, look at the weight ranges. That's going to tell you if looks like there's a lot of overlap between the previous size and that size. And in terms of the weight range, the flex pattern isn't going to be much stiffer. If it's a drastic, like let's say they only recommend it up to a 165-pound person, and then the next size jump is like a 185-pound person and up, that's where you're going to notice the difference. It's like one of those key subtleties that it has. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on here. Man, everyone really wants that story of the kid pissing himself. Maxim Boucher, does the sticker subscription on VIP ship outside the US? Yes. So for those of you that don't know, we have a subscription service called Angry Snowboarder VIP, which utilizes the Patreon platform basically, and we offer multiple tiers of it. The two best tiers are the Sticker Club at $7 a month, and then the Ultra tier, which is $15 a month, and every 3 months you get a giant sticker envelope. But Sticker Club is $7 a month, and you get 2 to 3 stickers in the mail to you. That does ship worldwide. I personally ship all that out myself, so it's probably the best bang for the buck in there, unless you really just want like a giant envelope of stickers. Because when you first join for the Ultra tier, it's $15 that first month. You get an envelope your first month, and then we do one every 3 months. So it's like September, December, March, and June. So we do it 4 times a year. So it's definitely worth it. Let's see. Yo, Greco, Solomon launched lace boots. BS are good. The best boot is the one that fits your foot and fits your needs. Some boots will last longer. Some boots will not last as long. But the best boot is the one that fits your foot and fits your needs. Solomon has been in the boot game for over 20 years. They revolutionized snowboard boots in the late 90s. I remember coming off Airwalks and going to Solomon, and it changed my life immensely. So try them on. If they work, there you go. Let's see. Jacob Doepker. Have you ever made a custom board? The closest I ever made to a custom board was designing the Marhar Lumberjack with Nate Morse, the owner of Marhar. I hit him up randomly in the middle of the summer. I think it was, or like the end of the summer. I think it was like August. I can't remember, or something like that. Sent him a text and was like, hey, I got an idea for a board. What do you think? And he's like, shoot it by me. So I had a hand-drawn sketch of the Lumberjack and like the tip shape and everything. And I was like, hey, I think if we use your flat to rocker profile with your 3D base and everything, and basically I designed that board for hitting log jibs at Breckenridge. Little did we know that would be their best-selling board of all time. So I designed that for me. Originally, the biggest size was only supposed to be a 152. Nate went the opposite direction and did 52, 55, and then introduced the 58, mainly because the people in Michigan couldn't conceptualize the idea of riding a 48 or a 44. Now they have the Lumberjill, so you have the 44, the 48, 52, 55, and 58 in it. But yeah, that was kind of the one board I custom designed. There's been other boards with other brands that I've had a lot of influence on in design tech. Back in the day, I did a lot of stuff with Never Summer. I actually helped them with their RC tech and designing that and bringing that to fruition. And I have actually the first board with RC tech, because they had about 5 different versions of it. I had the one for the first generation sitting under my bed. So yeah. Willis, hey Avran, what are the differences between the wired directive and the wired vantage? So the big difference is the directive is a true twin, and the vantage is a directional twin, I think. Or it's just full directional. I can't remember. No, I think it's directional twin, or it's directional. It's directional because it's got taper too. So the directive does not have taper. The Vantage has taper on it, so the tail will sink easier as well. Also, Wired Snowboards actually reached out to me wanted to do some kind of giveaway. If that is something you guys would like me to see, put a comment over in the chat box or leave a comment on the bottom of this video. I'm going to talk to Rob, the owner of that, again on Monday and see what we can work out. So yeah, let's see. Let's see. Colton, can Kevin carve a beginner rental board? We did that last season. We did that with a Rosnell rental board last season. So there's one in there from season 1. So yeah, let's see. Say what? Can Kevin carve a Walmart plastic board? That was one we haven't done yet. So that's on the list of things that we want to do with that. There are some doozies coming up as the season of Can Kevin Carve It progresses. We're going with a slow burn theme this year, where it's just going to start off like, oh, well, those are normal boards, and then suddenly it just starts to get into really fucked up, weird stuff out there. So yeah, let's see what else we got going on there. Tom T, can you please make a boot fit 301? Maybe discuss brands that are narrow versus wide, awesome versus crappy liners, best tongues, best construction, crappy lacing systems, and so on. Well, we don't even have a boot fitting 202, so no. There's ideas for stuff down the road. Those videos, like when they came out, I put my heart and soul into them, and it fucked up the audio on them. I would love to go back and redo those now, and just reshoot everything and then do a whole series of new ones. But right now I've got so much shit on my plate. Didn't put up the podcast today because I took a nap instead, but the new podcast will be coming out. But basically in it, I announced that I've quit my day job so I can focus on this full time. So there will be a ton of new content coming out. I've got to catch up on a bunch of shit, unfortunately. And when I catch up on it, then I still pile more stuff on. But that's where we're kind of at. In the long run, the idea is to eventually have another boot fit month where we do a boot fit video every day. But for right now, I think one of the ideas we're toying for the off season is a top 5 month where there's a top 5 every day of the month. And I got some ideas for some funny content for that for most of the month and whatnot, that would really make you guys stoked, I think. So yeah, let's see what else. Let's see. Did I miss anything here? No, I think we're caught up on stuff here. Ooh. Fuck snow bikes and fuck snow skates. For anyone that tells us we need to go ride snow skates or snow bikes, fuck off. I don't give a shit about either of those. There's some kook at A-Basin right now that wears a Ruroc and fucking rides a snow bike, and he's got a bell on it, and he just keeps hitting the bell. I really hope that kid gets rectal AIDS and dies. So yeah. And I don't give a shit about snow skating. If I wanted to hurt myself, I'd just go back to skateboarding. Let's see. So there's a ton of old snowboard videos up on YouTube under the Orchard moniker. It's like Orchard VOD or something like that, but there's a ton of them. You should definitely be watching the old Mac Dog movies, the old standard films, so like the Totally Bored series and whatnot. Let's see what else. Whiskey 1 through 3. Don't watch Whiskey 4. Whiskey 4 is garbage. Also, Videograss is selling all their videos. They're taking pre-orders for a USB flash drive. It's like $25 for 8 videos, I think, on there. So that one would definitely be worth it. If you can get your hands on any of the old Rome videos, like No Correct Way and what was the other one? There was another team movie that they did, but the Rome team movies are really solid as well. Okay. Steven Sanchez, remind insoles or shred soles? So both, but it depends on your foot shapes. Shred soles I find fit someone that has a slightly normal or higher arch, whereas reminds tend to go better with someone with more of a collapsed or flatter foot. So you got to kind of figure out which one fits you. I'm a Remind guy. I've been using Reminds for 6-7 years now, I think, something like that. The owner hooked me up with them. Best aftermarket insole I've ever had, and I've had a lot of customs, and those are the ones that cause me the least amount of pains and problems. So I run them in everything these days. Let's see. Let's see. Frank, 0020, are ski socks close to snowboard socks? Yeah, the only difference between a snowboard socks and ski sock is snowboard socks, or some of the ski socks, depending what they are, they have like a little more padding in the front of the shin. Realistically, there's no difference between the two of them. Mike Garcia, this is going to be my first season at Copper. Is there any areas I should check out for bull and tree riding? Here's what you're going to do, Mike. You're going to go get on the fucking chairlift. You're going to get off the chairlift, and you're going to spin in a whole 360, and you're going to look at all the terrain. And I want you to take it in. If there's not a rope telling you you can't go in there, you can go in there. And you're going to go explore. And sometimes you're going to follow a sucker track into terrain you shouldn't, and it might lead you to a rock pit. And you might core shot your board. And it's going to suck, and you're going to swear to the high heavens and curse angry snowboarder and say, why did you tell me to do this? And other times you're going to be like, no one's over here, and it's fucking amazing. But I'm not going to blow out any of my spots on the internet. I never have, I never will, and I hate everyone that does that, and I want to throat punch them all. Other than that, man, Have fun. Don't be too much of a snow carny. And whatever you do, avoid the clap. All right. Let's see. Ooh. Let's see. Did I just miss something here? I feel like I just missed a question. G.I. Joe, hey, Avran, what's your internet connection? We're about to switch to fiber optic, so it doesn't even fucking matter right now. They just installed all new fiber optic in the town. So we're going to go from 75 MBS up way more. Super chat from Jack Ripper. What factory is Signal made at? Thanks for the content. So they're made at the Mousen factory in China, which is the same place that makes the mass-produced boards for Wired. They make Endeavor. And there's someone else that they make, but they've been making snowboards for over 10 years. You can tell when the quality control slips on them because some of the boards have like little dimples in the top sheet, which means they didn't clean the cassette. So as long as there's someone there doing QC, the boards are solid. If there's not, you get dimples in the top sheet that don't affect the ride. Let's see. Carly Elfie, would you ride for Kemper 2019? Personally, no, I wouldn't ride for anyone. I'm fucking awful. I have ridden, however, there is a Kemper review in the snowboard review playlist. So if you want to check that out, also there is the Kemper snowboards playlist. So I think I rode the Freestyle 89. Is the one with the light blue graphic in it. Very camber heavy on it. Half pipe board. Very much a half pipe or big jump board. So it was an aggressive freestyle board. So yeah, let's see. What else? Thought there'd be more questions. There's 83 of you people in here. You're not throwing them out tonight. Tom T, what brand and model of goggles do you prefer and why? So I've been rocking a bunch of different Dragon ones right now. And then I've got some Oakley air brakes. I think they're air brakes. If they're not, whatever the fuck it was with the Prism ones. What would they? My friend hooks me up. He works at a goggle shop here, and I pretty much just like, I need goggles. And he's like, here, take these. Since I got eye surgery, I've been a little more temperamental about what I put because I'm noticing how many goggles have their optical quality is crap or there's distortion in the lens. It's really interesting. Like my Dragons are perfect, except for right down the dead center, right between the eyes. There's a little something that causes, like, if I look just right, I can see there's a deviation in there. My Oakleys, on the other hand, are spot on. For a while there, I was rocking Smith IOXs, stuff like that. So there was definitely some really good stuff. Let's see what we got here. Steven, hey man, I'm looking at a Yes Jackpot 2020. Should I get the 54-52 if I'm mainly riding park but still want to carve once in a while? 5'7", 155 pounds, size 8.5 boots. Get the 52, man. You'll be able to throw it around, but you'll still be able to carve on it. You got an 8.5 boot. You're 155 pounds. You're going to be happier with the 52 over the 54. So, yeah. Homo Torpedo, what are your best tricks nowadays? Strapping in, being able to stand on a snowboard, and turning to the left. Not the right, just the left. Those are my top 3 tricks these days. Let's see. Okay. The G.I. Joe. Are polarized lenses worth it? I think so. I've got a bunch of different ones that are polarized. Before I got eye surgery, I didn't notice the difference, but after I got eye surgery, about 6 months after eye surgery, I was like, holy fuck, I really noticed the difference in there. It makes a lot of sense on really low light, low visibility days. That's when I really notice the difference. Sunny Bluebird, it's negligible, but low light, that's when you really can see the snow definition and stuff and where it really matters. Let's see. What else we got going here? Adam Kowal, if you could make a Frankenstein board to put different companies' tech into one perfect snowboard, what would it be? Okay, so first thing I would do is okay. I'd like it to be a little more environmentally friendly because snowboards are not environmentally friendly. That's like the one spot in my life I've never been able to reduce the emissions is the amount of snowboard shit that I break and go through and shit. So I'd like it to be environmentally friendly, which means it's either got to be Mothership or the Kyle factory. And I kind of right now prefer the Mothership. And then what I would love to do, I would love to see what a lumberjack from Marhar would look like built at Capita. So with their full construction and how they do everything and their gloss finish and everything, I think that would be really, really interesting. Otherwise, if I had to, I'd like to see the Burton Channel on a Marhar lumberjack built at the Capita Mothership, but redesigned by Eric Luthart from GP87. That's basically it. I think that's probably the best way to top it up. All right, so we're going to go a little more personal here. KT wants to know, what is your top 5 80s hard rock metal songs to ride to? If it's a Powder Day, it's Judas Priest and nothing but fucking Judas Priest. Doesn't matter. Everything from British Steel on forward, I don't even care. Even the shit with Tim Ripper Owens in the band, I'll listen to it. I don't give a fuck about that. But if we're talking about like my top 5 favorite 80s hard rock hair metal songs, okay. So Cherry Pie by Warrant will always be on that list. You can also substitute Uncle Tom's Cabin if you really want to on that. Too Fast for Love from Motley Crue or Kickstart My Heart. Kind of depends on the mood, but that would probably be like number 4. Number of the Beast or Flight of Icarus there. Or it's not Fallen Angel. What the fuck is the... No, it's Flight of Icarus. Those would be the 2 from Iron Maiden on there. Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance or Diamonds and Rust. Those 2 from Iron Maiden on there. Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance, or Diamonds and Rust. Those 2 right. Also, let's see. You got to throw some Dokken in there every now and then. Dream Warriors, Friday the 13th, Part 3. Great movie. Rockin' with Dokken. Can't go wrong with that. Also, some Vinnie Vincent Invasion if you really want to in there. I know so many people are like, what the fuck is this hair metal shit that Avran's throwing out? So, for the longest time, I only listened to hair metal. Like I have like the whole discography of Def Leppard, Poison, Motley Crue. I've seen Motley Crue like numerous times, but like one of my favorite bands to see. Also, best concert and worst concert I've ever been to, Motley Crue. So yeah, there we go. Oh, let's see what we got here. Andrew Waugh, what do you use to listen to music on the mountain? The new Skull Candy Vert looks great. iPhone earbuds with the cord because I've still got an iPhone 6 because I'm poor and that thing's about to die. I need to get a new one. Yeah, so yeah. Let's see. Guns N' Roses, yes, just to go back to that music question. Guns N' Roses is on there. Love Guns N' Roses. Can't go wrong with it. Now they're touring. I would love to see them. Unfortunately, I just missed out. Also, if you need something a little harder, throw on Slayer anytime. Can't put Pantera on, though. For some reason, Pantera puts me to sleep. There we go. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on here. Willis, Avran, I know you aren't a waxing guy, but does brushing the board after waxing hot or rub on with a breast brush, then a nylon brush, does that impart a little bit of structure in the base? No, what it does is it just puts structure in the wax on top of it. I mean, it'll help groove it if there is structure in the board in there, but realistically, after about 3 to 5 runs, it's gone. You know, it's there. You can do it. I mean, 99% of you guys that are like, oh, we need to wax and tune, I could give you one of my boards and tell you that I fully tuned it, and as long as the edges were sharp, you probably wouldn't even notice, and you'd believe me. And it could be something that hasn't even touched a tune machine or had anything put on the base in probably like 2 years. So yeah. Let's see. Adrian Ellis, Angry, what's good? I have a size 11 boot and I want the assimilator. Can I rock with that respect? The only way you could is if you ride the 156 and your stance is 22 inches or wider. And that is still going to be pushing it because it depends on what boot you have. If you have a 32, you're fucked. If you have a Burton with the shrink tech in it, you might be able to get away with it. Otherwise, probably going to be a no-go, bud. We got 1 minute till story time, so I'm taking one more question. Let's see. Patrick Graham, hey, all mountain side country board, good for booters and park jumps. Captain Mercury, Jones Mountain Twin, yes typo, ride algorithm. Let's see, what else is on that list? The new GNU 4 might be a little too stiff for some people. I didn't really like it too much, but it's kind of what it's for. Let's see, what else is out there? The Wired Directive series as well. The Rosnell Jibsaw HD, although that's probably too stiff for most people, so you could get away with a regular Jibsaw or even the Rosnell Angus in there. Burton Custom Camber, not that Flying V bullshit. So, all right. Okay, so we've hit 9:45 p.m. So it's time for story time. So I'm going to tell you about the kid pissing his pants. So let me set this up for you. It's about 7 years ago. It is Martin Luther King weekend in Breckenridge, and we are going to film a Parks and Recs edit on a Monday, which it was going to be hit or miss. We figured it would be busy, and we got there, and it actually wasn't. So surprisingly, it wasn't busy. So for anyone that's never been to Breckenridge, at the Peak 8 base area, you basically have 3 chairlifts. You have Rocky Mountain Super Chair, Colorado Super Chair, and then you have 5 Chair, which is an old 2-seater that goes right up by the park. So we come out, we were like, a bunch of guys were getting ready, whatnot. I think we were taking like a midday break or something and meeting up with some people that had to work that morning. So the corral, the way 5 Chair works is it also corrals over to the beginner slope, and beginners trickle over because there's a beginner run to the right of the park, because why not put the park riders with the beginner riders? Fucking great logic there. So anyways, we go out to go get in the corral, and we're at the end, and we're all strapping in and stuff. So I strap in, and I got 2 camera bags and a tripod and a camera. And there's this guy just standing around thumbjacking his fart box in the middle of the fucking corral, like just full blown gaping out. And I'm like, whatever. There's no one in front of him. There's no one. There's 7 lanes open, and they're all open. And it's just this guy. And there's like maybe the first 2 lanes had some skiers cutting through, but they were park kids, so they knew how to get on. So like we were at the closest ones to where we walked out. So we strap in. I just go skating by. I'm thinking nothing of it. And he just goes to me, hey, buddy, you can't just cut the line. And I turn around and I'm like, there's no one fucking here. You're standing around, thumbjacking your fart box, staring off into space. Who gives a fuck? What do you care? Either go forward or stand around doing nothing. But we got shit to do. So we're all getting in line. I think there was like 14 of us that were filming that day. So we're doing this, and the guy's like, you're a fucking asshole. And I was like, tell me something I don't know, you douche canoe. And he's like, why don't you come over here and say it to my face? And I was like, you really want to go there? We can go there if you want to go there. I don't really give a fuck. I'm going to make you look like a bitch. And he's like, fuck you. I could kick your ass. Why don't you come over here? And I was like, okay, you want to threaten me? So I look over to my friend Ben the Bear, and I was like, hey, buddy, hand him the camera and the tripod, take the backpack off, take the camera bag off, put him down, and walk over to the guy and look him right in the face. And I was like, I'm over here. Do you have something you want to say to me? And he looks at me and he goes, well, yeah. And I was like, take my hand, and I just push him right in the chest, and he skis backwards a little. And I was like, you got something you want to say to me? Because I'm here. You want to make a threat to me, make it to my fucking face like a man. Otherwise, you're a bitch. And he looks at me and he's like, well, and I was like, thought so. You don't have shit to say. So at this time, his fat little skier kid, who's probably about 7 years old, comes skiing down and falls over. Get away from my dad. Excuse me? What? And he just starts going off, and I'm not paying attention. I'm looking at the dad, and I was like, you got something you want to say to me? And he bends down right to my face, and he whispers, hey, man, I'm just trying to look tough in front of my wife and kids. I shit you not. This is what he said. And I was like, what? You're trying to put on a show for your fat fucking kid and your ugly fucking wife right there? Fuck you. Fuck you. So anyways, he's sitting there. The kid starts running his mouth at me, and I look at him, and I was like, looking at him, looking at the dad. I was like, tell him to shut the fuck up. You and I are talking. This is an adult conversation. And he's like, the kid calls me a retard. And what it means. And the kid's like, no. And I was like, well, then if you don't know what it means, you probably shouldn't use it because you sound fucking retarded, you little shit. And the kid gets kind of quiet, and he kind of shuts up for a minute. And his dad says, he whispers to me again, man, I really need this. Like, I need to look good in front of the wife. And I was like, fuck you, you piece of shit. And I just pushed him. And he just goes flying back. And I was like, eat a dick, you cocksucking piece of shit. I don't give a fuck if you need this for your family. Fuck you, fuck your kid, fuck your wife, fuck your daughter. I hate you all. Fuck you. Don't make a threat at someone in the state of Colorado. If you make a threat and someone stands their ground, they have everything in their right to defend themselves. And you made a threat to me, so I stood my ground. So if I'm not thinking anything of it. My friends are like, dude, let him be. And I was like, fuck this guy. He's a chump. So I strapped back in, and the kid is running his mouth the whole time. And I turned around, and I was like, I see the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You suck. Your kid sucks. Look at the kid. And I was like, I'll be waiting at the top for you, you little shit. So I get off at the top, and I unstrap, and I was like, I'm going to take care of this. So the way 5-chair comes off, if you go to the left, you go to the park. If you go to the right, it's a beginner run, or like loose. I say it's a beginner run. I think it's a blue run. Doesn't matter. So I'm sitting there, and I see him coming, and the dad is waving to me, and I was like, hey, you going to discipline your kid and teach him some fucking manners? And the guy's like looking at me, and the guy goes right to the right, and the kid did not know how to ski. He turned left right into me, and I'm walking up on him, and he falls over. And he's walking up, and he's screaming, he's calling me a retard and shit, and I walk right up to him, and I'm standing over him, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up, you piece of shit right now. I'm going to go teach you some fucking manners right now. When adults are talking, you do not interrupt. And the dad is like 30 feet away, and the kid starts screaming fucking bloody murder. And I'm just yelling at him in his face, just fuck you, fuck this. You need to learn when an adult is talking, you do not interrupt. You are rude. You are a piece of shit. And I was like, your dad is an entitled little asshole. And I'm going off. And the dad's like, freaking out and shit. And the kid wouldn't shut up. So finally I stand over the kid, and I put my finger in his face, and I was like, if you do not shut up, I will end you right now. And I look down, and the kid just pisses his fucking pants. Full blown pisses his pants. Dead silent. Just crying, just like whimpering, and he pisses his pants. And I just look at him, and I'm just like, I'm not even going to touch you now. You have proven how weak you are. And I walk over to the dad, and I was like, you need to teach your kid some fucking manners. You need to learn some respect. You need to learn not to pick fights with people. The guy pulls back both his ski poles and goes to take a swing at me, and I was like, you got one hit, because after that, you're assaulting me with a deadly weapon, and I will fucking kill you. I do not give a shit. I will end your fucking life right now. So he takes a swing at me, and I just you. I do not give a shit. I will end your fucking life right now. So he takes a swing at me, and I just move, and he completely just folds out of his hand, and I just point right in his face, like I'm hitting him right square in the face. And I was like, do you understand that you are on vacation? Do you understand you will not win this? Do you understand that I have 14 people there witnessing this, that you have threatened me and I'm defending myself? Do you understand that your child is a pile of shit? Obviously, he does not fall far from the tree. You're a self-entitled little asshole. You're probably the type of people that litter in this town. You feel all entitled, and I'm going on and on. And meanwhile, the kid is still over there just pissing himself still some more. So I leave Dad on the ground. He's crying now. By the way, Dad is full-blown like freaking out because he's trying to get up, and I just keep pushing him down. And I was like, you don't get to go near your kid. You will address me as a man. You want to be a man? You want to pick a fight with me in front of your wife so you could look tough, and you lost. Now you're a bitch. And I leave him there, and I'm walking past to the kid, and the kid's there, and I just turn and I look at him, and I was like, do something good with your life, because if you turn out like a piece of shit like him, I will fucking find you and I will end you. The kid pissed himself again. Meanwhile, like the lifties are out there, everyone's looking, like people have their cell phones, everyone's filming this. Like my friend's got the camera, he's filming this, and they're like, Avran, that was fucking savage. And I was like, fuck that kid, fuck that family, let's go film. And that was the end of it. But dude, the kid left a puddle of yellow piss. It went through, because he had on like some shit and one like track pants or some shit, just all over himself. The kid pissed himself. I left the dad and the kid at the top of the park just covered in piss. And it's like, you know that he has to fucking take that kid down and hose his ass off. And like, this is the thing. He chose to pick a fight with me because I skated past him. I wasn't being belligerent. I just skated past him. He was just standing there, thumbjacking his fart box, looking off into space. And I skated right on past him. And fucking, they wanted to pick a fight. And the fact that he said, I need this, I need to look good for my wife, he picked the wrong person to choose that with. You don't make a threat to me. Like, the one thing that I'm pretty sure is going to get me killed is someone will make a threat to me and I will stand my ground. That's probably what's going to get me killed. Like, if the CTE doesn't get me from all the concussions, that's what's going to kill me. But yeah, so I literally made a fat little skier fuck piss his pants out of fear of me. So anyone that questions the whole angry snowboarder thing, like, anger is an emotion that is so full of, like, a bunch of other emotions that it drives the anger to come out. This is where it comes out. So yeah. So there you go. I promised you guys the story of the kid pissing himself. You got the story of the kid pissing himself. And this is the best comment from Roadster99. Guy's married. What is he trying to impress? I don't know what he was trying to impress. That woman was hideous. She was dumpy as shit. Like, she had let herself go. It was the classic example of two people that probably got married right after college and decided to have kids. That dude was probably the same age as me and looked 10 years older than me. And she looked dumpy as fuck. Like, she was probably cute at one point, and she just went straight downhill. And that dude had full-blown, like, fat-ass dad bod. Like, you know, he's probably the type of guy that, oh, yeah, I went on vacation and I picked a fight with a snowboarder because I'm a skier on rental equipment. When he got back and in turn, it's like, dude, your kid pissed your pants. You fell over to the ground crying with snot running out of your nose when you took one swing at me. I never even hit you. That was the funny thing. So, yeah. Also, I'm not an alpha male. I know some people are like saying that in the comments that I'm like an alpha male or stuff like that. I literally just want to be left alone. But when I have to show myself and do stuff, I'm not afraid. If I'm going to lose a fight, I'll lose a fight. That's fine. I'll take it. I've had the shit beat out of me numerous times in the past. I'm not scared of that. But yeah, but I do not bend down to people doing stupid shit like that. It's like the kid that broke my nose when I called him out for littering and I sent him to the hospital with facial reconstruction, which is another story for another time. So yeah. Let's see what we got here. All right. Does anyone else have any more questions? Let's see. And also, yes, someone said, is there a death more humiliating than getting decapitated by skis? First off, do you know how hard you would have to swing a set of skis to fully decapitate a head? It'd be way harder than you think. They're not sharp enough at all. Let's see what we got here. No, so yeah. So hopefully with the 100 plus of you that are watching this streaming, you just got a glimpse into when the angry snowboarder fucking fully comes out. It is not pretty at all. So yeah. Okay. Steven Sanchez, best and worst resort in Utah. Well, Alta and Deer Valley, they don't allow snowboarding. Those are the fucking worst. Everything else is better than that. Fuck those two. Fuck them. And they're on my Icon Pass. I literally buy a pass. I can't even use that at 2 resorts. There we go. All right. Yeah. Okay. Carson Pesh, North Lake or South Lake Tahoe? Well, South Lake Tahoe if you like meth, gambling, cam models that are hookers. That would be South Lake. North Lake if you want to be a little more isolated or live in Truckee. Truckee's kind of rad. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably live in North Lake because South Lake was really dirty when I lived there. Oh, this is a good one. Logan Trichette. I've been watching your videos for a while when I randomly heard you bring up one of my homies, superfan Alan Russell. Should I be second-guessing this guy? Hope to see you at Pow Mau. You should always be second-guessing Alan. You never know what that fucking guy's going to be doing, man. Alan's like the number one but creepy fan. Like, you never know if he's going to skin Kevin and wear him as a suit. I mean, he's our Buffalo Bill. That's all you need to know. He's the angry snowboarder Buffalo Bill. That's Alan in a nutshell. Love that guy. I have no fear of hanging out with him. Kevin, on the other hand, won't go near the state of Utah now. And if he does, he's like, tell Alan I'm in California. So, yeah. Ugh. Okay, Face Skater. Got my 6-week x-rays for my... It's going to kill me waiting till Christmas. Yeah, well, doctors told me I'd never walk again and that I should quit snowboarding. So what do they fucking know? Get a second opinion on that. Also, hopefully you're taking collagen peptides because that's going to really help with the bone regrowth and stuff like that, glucosamine, and you're doing PT. Just make sure when you get an injury, you do everything you can to just fully recover from that if you don't. So, yeah. All right. Berto and Fuso, how often will you be doing live streams now that you quit your day job? So I've quit, but I've still got to run out the clock. My last day will be the 14th of next month. I was giving them 4 weeks, which I already gave them like an additional 9 months of me being there. But after that, like right now, I'm kind of pet sitting for some friends. So like my time is kind of taking care of various dogs. Like I got my friend's 50% Timberwolf German Shepherd mix that I have to walk and make sure that it doesn't eat any small dogs. And then I've got these 2 like little dogs that I refer to as the shit weasels. And one of them has cancer. So I have to give her chemo like every time I watch her. And it's like, I got to like wrangle her and then I got to like inject her with chemo medicine. I got like rubber gloves on. It's fucking sketchy as shit. So I got a bunch of other stuff on the plate, but I think after about the 15th of next month, the goal is maybe twice a week we'll get live streams. From there, I would really like to do, because the morning live streams are definitely different people. It's like the cubicle jockeys, the Euros, stuff like that. People in Japan, it's weird. And then like Angry Late Night's more U.S. people, but I think it's going to be something that we're going to see a lot more of. So yeah, Jake Morris with the super chat. Any review for 2020 Headspace coming? Thoughts? Buy some food with the money. No, there's not going to be a new Headspace review coming because nothing changed according to my rep, and he just didn't want me to ride it. I mean, if I get a lot of people hounding me, I'll grab one in November, maybe December, and ride it. But right now, I don't think anything even changed in that board, so there's no reason to. So yeah. Let's see. Tom T, Black Friday mystery boxes. No, there will not be Black Friday mystery boxes for this. Instead, there will be a limited release drop. I'm trying to get everything dialed in, but there will be 2 colorways in the varsity zip-up sweatshirt that I've worn in a bunch of videos and a few previous live streams, as well as a hooded 5,000 rated waterproof coach's jacket. So that there'll be 2 colorways in that as well. That's going to probably be the only limited stuff that I'm going to put out for Black Friday. Let's see. Paul Falconbridge. I'm a surfer who snowboards. I live in Cornwall, UK, so no snow to speak of. Plenty of waves, though. My question is, I'm coming off a Burton Ripcord 62 onto a 62 wide custom flying V. Mistake or not? No. You made the right progression, dude. I think you're solid. I think that flying V will be a little more loose and in tune with your surf style turns. And coming from a Ripcord, it is a logical progression. You did good, bud. You did good. So, yeah. Let's see. Logan Trichette, what do you think of the DC Beer Savage? I don't. Should I? Is that something I should be thinking about? Like, I don't really think about it. It's not something that even crosses my frame of mind. So, yeah. Let's see what we got here. Where is it? I think I missed one. Justin Watley, what are your thoughts on fixed bindings? I actually got to email Jason. He's supposed to send me, or we talked briefly, but I need to get on all the new stuff. My initial thoughts, like the way that they do everything, so they're modular. Like they don't they order their straps from separate factories and then they assemble them all together, so that way they're not beholden to any one factory. I like that concept. Also keeps the cost down. They have a wider footprint and base tray on them, so if you have a wider boot, they're great. If you have a narrower boot, you end up with a little slop side to side. Supposedly they narrowed them up since the last time I rode them, so but even when I looked at them, they seemed a little bit wider. There's a lot of good technology, and I really like what Jason is doing with those. So for anyone that doesn't know, Jason Bros used to work at Endeavor. I think he worked at Option before that too. But he's got a lot of design experience and fixes his like labor of love to snowboarding. And he's trying to create like the Canadian version of C3. So he's got known manufacturing, Ashbury goggles. He owns Ashbury goggles, just so everyone knows that. And then he's got fixed bindings as well. And he's really working on them, dialing them in. I think he's got some good stuff. Just wish he didn't do a collab with Nightmare Snowboards because that company fucking sucks. And Joe, the owner of Nightmare, is a fucking kook. But other than that, you know, they're not bad. So yeah. Xander Castro, with Keystone being the only resort that has night riding as far as I know in Colorado, is there another resort that you wish also had night riding? Steamboat has night riding, as well as Howelson Hill. And who else? Oh, Echo Mountain has it. And does Snowmass? There's one other mountain in Colorado that has night riding. No. So here's the thing about night riding in Colorado versus the East Coast. Like, I grew up night riding when I lived in New York and everything. That was just, you get out of school, you get out of work, you go and you ride until 10 o'clock at night. That was just what you did. Out here, it is so different. So with the way Summit County sits, so like right now I'm facing south. So over here to my right is the west, and that is all the peaks range where Breckenridge is. When that sun starts to hit the peaks, when it drops, when it hits there, everything starts to firm. And when it goes past that, everything turns to ice. Night riding in Colorado is one of the sketchiest things you can do unless it has been storming all day. If it has been storming all day, night pow laps are good. Clear lenses are a must, though. You have to have clear lenses, and I would recommend a headlamp as well. But I think in the like 15, 16 years that I've lived here, I've done night riding 3 times, maybe 4. Not really something I do because it's never worth it. So, yeah. Marco Figueroa, why didn't I listen to you regarding Vertica? Absolute garbage. Never again. Dude, it's a fucking Fisher Price of ski outerwear. Don't ever fucking give them any money. David Lesh is a fucking rich little shit that designs crap product. He's the fucking Logan Paul of fucking skiing. He's a fuck that guy. All right, Jason with the $10 super chat. Heading to Steamboat at the end of January, and we can get a half day at Copper or A Basin on the way up. Which way should we go? I rode A Basin last year and liked it. How's Copper different? Okay, so here's the thing. If you're coming up from Denver, A Basin will definitely be closer, and it makes it easier to hop on 9 and shoot right up to Steamboat. Otherwise, you got to stay on 70 for another 20, 25 minutes out to Copper, and coming back, you're going to have to go down 70 as well. And right now, with the way the weather patterns are going and avalanches and shit, you might get trapped there, which is okay because if Vail Pass is open, you can go up and over to Wolcott and cut back the back way, but that's going to add on probably about an extra 2 hours to the drive. Here's the big difference between Copper and A Basin. A Basin is a lot more above tree line riding. It is a smaller resort, drastically smaller, but it does have more challenging terrain by and large, unless you know where to go at Copper, but I never blow up my spots, so don't even ask me. I'm not going to tell you. But Copper has longer runs that they're more rolly, so there's like more natural rollers on it. I also think the tree riding at Copper is way better than anything A Basin has, even with their new expansion. I just love tree riding at Copper because you can get into some lower angle stuff that's actually really, really killer. I mean, here's the thing. If you're coming up and it's like later in the day and you don't want to be driving at night to Steamboat, because Rabbit Ears Pass in the dark does suck, especially if you're not used to driving that, because it's an 11-mile pass and you go up and down on it twice. Plus, there is a shit ton of wildlife out there, like a shit ton of elks. I've had numerous friends smash elks on that pass. Actually, the worst part is right after you get off of the pass, you come down through the steep spot into Steamboat. There's these giant fields, and all the farmers and shit or ranchers out there, like they've set it up so that it's just an elk migration area through there and they're passing through. So it's really deadly. So if you're going first thing in the morning, I would say Copper. If it's going to be like midday or later, A Basin. And if it's a Friday later, definitely A Basin because they're doing that new happy hour thing. So you got that going on for you. Bottled and Cork. Opinion on ninja suits. They're super fucking warm. They don't make a tandem one that'll fit Kevin and Alan Russell yet, but they need to. If they ever make a tandem ninja suit, it'll be the greatest thing on Earth. But they're super warm. The only thing I don't like is that it's not a full. The other thing is, like, for me personally, I don't have a spleen, so I don't have a lot of body heat regulation. So I don't know if I'm too hot or too cold. I can only gauge on if I'm sweating and if I feel it. And with ninja suits, I tend to feel it, and then I get cold because I keep vents open. It's really weird. So I'm not a ninja suit guy, but I think they're amazing. Okay. Vicky Tio, hey Avran, thanks for the advice on the Super Pig versus Gucci Pro camber. Which binding would be better for the Super Pig? Now, pilots or brigade for POW in Japan, carving and some jumps. Thanks. I would probably put the brigades on there. They're a little softer flexing, and that's going to complement the torsional flex of that board, but you can still charge with it when you need to. Tom T, what specific freestyle board has the absolute most aggressive edge tech? Edge tech? Like, are you talking grip tech, magnet traction, serrated edge? Well, I mean, if you want to go with, like, it's going to grip and fucking rip, the fucking LibTech hot knife. That thing is fucking burly. Marco Figueroa with the super chat. You ever rocked the Air Blaster Freedom suit? Your thoughts on it? I haven't. I like the concept of one pieces. I wish L1 would bring back the Mean Machine because I would wear that. I would get a one piece because then I would have to wear. I'd wear next to nothing underneath, and it would be absolutely fucking phenomenal. They're great for like a central heating. It goes top to bottom. The only problem is if you fart on a cold day and it comes up, you get like that chimney effect and it's right in your face. Like you're gassing yourself. That's the one bad thing about getting a one piece. You fart in that thing and it's just like a shit bomb waiting to go off in there. You're just like gassing yourself. Okay. Saiwo, what resorts should I avoid during Christmas? I'm finally making it out to Colorado, renting a house in Frisco. Breckenridge. Breckenridge and Keystone will by far be the worst. Christmas Day, actually, in Colorado, if you're here for Christmas Day, fucking phenomenal day. Get up as early as possible. Get first chair. Fuck opening presents. Christmas Day is amazing till about noon when all the peasants wake up and start rolling out. But any of that. But Christmas to New Year's is a fucking shit show at Breckenridge. Breckenridge is by far the worst. Like, if you can, go to A Basin, go to Loveland, go to Copper. Since you're in Frisco, I mean, if you wanted to do a day trip, it's about a 2-hour drive to Steamboat. If you go early enough, you can leave midday and be back. Like, I usually go up, get to Steamboat about like 9, 10 in the morning. I ride till 2, 3, hang out with some friends up there, and then I drive back about 7 or 8. That's pretty solid. The other thing you could do from Frisco, it's about an hour and a half to Aspen. If you have an Icon pass, definitely go down to Aspen if there's no blackouts on your pass and check that out. So, yeah. Let's see. Sopana Ton. Steamboat, Copper, or Aspen. Looking to head out to one of the Icon destinations this Christmas. Aspen. Go to Aspen if you can. You got 4 mountains to choose from out there. You got every kind of terrain you could want. Like, what they consider Aspen busy is not even a normal day in Summit County. Just go right to Aspen. You know, you'll have a fun time out there. Michael Anderson, is it important to trim insoles to the size of the ones that came out of the boots? I bought Remind insoles. They seem a little bigger. They seem a little bigger, but seem to fit in the boot. You should trim it a little bit, but if they fit in the boot, they're not like pushing up like this or curled back underneath. Like they fit in there. I'd leave them for now. You'll know after you ride them because the tops of your toenails, your big toe especially, you'll feel some pain and you might need to trim a little bit off the end so it just sits in there a little bit better. Let's see. Frank 0020, what kind of shovel to take in my car in case I get stuck in the snow? Just the garden shovel? No, get a pack shovel. Get like one of those little compact pack shovels that you can get so you can detach it. Make sure that it has a T handle. So it's just like, it just looks like a T, not the D handle where it comes out. Like there's a plastic oval into it. They tend to break when you're really pushing into harder chunder. So a T handle does not break. Get that. Also throw a bag of kitty litter or rock salt in the car just in case, as well as keep some water and extra food. All right. Marco Figueroa with the super chat. Only white boy that hasn't butchered my name. Go buy yourself a hot dog, fam. You're a legend. Oh man, I got a weird name. I cannot butcher people's names unless I'm really just trying to be funny. Can't do it, man. People butcher mine every day. So yeah. Let's see what we got here. Chickadere Gooch, ever ridden South America? I have not. It is on the to-do list at some point in my life. So yeah. Tom T, did you ever enter any type of snowboard competition? Yeah, when I was growing up in New York, we had the Western New York series that would come through Holiday Valley. It was put on by 245 Snowboard Shop. I would do border cross, half pipe, slopestyle, rail jam, stuff like that. I mean, I actually blew my spleen out a day of a border cross race in the half pipe when I was 19, and that was pretty much the end of me ever doing anything. Every year, my friends and I joke about entering the old man division in USASA because it'd be beer league at this point, and we snowboard more than the other people around here that enter, so we kind of have that going for us, is like we consistently ride, and they only ride on weekends. And I was like, I will totally enter giant slalom, only giant slalom. But no, I knew. I think like by the time I was 19, when I injured myself, I knew that like that window had sailed. And Marcus from Ask a Black Snowboarder, he and I grew up together. Like I've known him since he was 11 years old. He's like a little brother to me. I concentrated a lot on being his ride mentor, pointing out where I thought he could tweak things and stuff. Like when I say he was hands down one of the best snowboarders of all time that no one's ever heard of, I mean he was single-handedly one of the best snowboarders that of all time that no one had ever heard of. I remember when he was doing like 1440 double shifties. He would never do a double cork. He would do like a double dip and shit before people were doing it. He would do flat 16s. I think there was one time he did a flat 1880 just for the sake of doing it. And like where we grew up, the biggest jumps were probably like 30 feet. And if you needed to go further, you just took it to flat. And so just watching that kid take stuff to flat. But Marcus, I spent most of my time guiding him, and then there was a whole other crew of kids from Ellicottville that I rode with that were younger than me, and I was basically the Steve Harrington to like the Stranger Things club of snowboard. It was like all snowboard kids, and I was the big brother, and it was pretty funny. I was at a wedding in LA with all of them, and for some reason they kept saying that I kept buying them beer, but I only ever bought them beer on 2 different occasions, so it was really weird. Yeah. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. Yes, I know if I butcher people's names, I'll butcher them all I want. So deal with it. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. Paul Falconbridge, you've talked about visiting Europe 2020, 2021. Want to tell us more about that future possibility? No, because I don't. My plans change every day. Like something weird, catastrophic can happen in my life, and my travel fund can just disappear. Like I had to do a bunch of work on my Volvo, and the same day that my hot water tank decided to explode in my condo, I dumped $4,800 in the course of 24 hours to fix a bunch of shit. Like that was Japan just going right out the window. Just goodbye. So things always change with me. You never really know. So like I'm trying to get everything as I build what we're doing over here with Angry, and you're going to see a video coming out in the future here kind of talking about what we're trying to do and what we need from you guys and different things as we try to grow what we're doing. But the long-term goal is to be able to travel and do like different area reviews and stuff. And then we'll still have the product review side, and I'm going to like kind of pull back from doing everything and stretching myself super fucking thin and going from there. So yeah, let's see. Oh, let's see what we got here. Face Skater, winter tire recommendations. I use the Hankook Icept Evo 3s on my XC90, but that's because when I bought it, it had a set of Hankook Icept Evo 3s, so I knew what I was getting by getting that same tire. I had looked at the Blizzaks, but they're so soft with the weight of my car, it would have eaten them alive. I also looked at a few like Dunlops and some Hakapellis and other stuff, but the best rated ones I could find were the Hankooks because I have a 20 that it would fit and do everything. So yeah. Let's see. What else we got going on here? Carson Pesci. Best rail trick you've ever done. Making it to the end of the rail. Just any rail. Just making it to the end is the best trick at this point. I think probably the best one I ever did, like for me personally, was just a giant butter box, but I did a 900 across it, full butter spin. Or back in the day, Breck used to have this wide A-frame dance floor box, so it was like up and down, 270 on, 270 the peak, 270 off. So that was about it. Those days are so far gone. Like I spin a 360 and I get dizzy now. So yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Homo Torpedo, ever been to Seymour? Thoughts on the mountain and locals? Haven't been to Seymour. A bunch of those like grouse and shit are on my Icon Pass. I want to do like a tour where I come up through the Northwest and stop at Wired Snowboards there in Vancouver, and also stop at Endeavor, and then I'd like to go see Pryor and Known up in Squamish. Kind of do like that whole Western Canada thing, but stop at one of those places and do like a meetup with all the snowboarders of the internet. And I want to ride like Grouse and Seymour and Cypress and all those right there. They look like fun mountains. The only thing that I don't like, and I'm not sure if he's at Cypress or Seymour, is this guy Timmy. He basically, like a couple years ago, it showed up that he had to sell his snowboard collection so that he could save the tax payment on his house that his mom left him. The dude's mentally fucking unstable, but everyone launched a Kickstarter for him, and then they sent him to Baldface, and they gave him a free Baldface trip. That dude is so batshit insane and just a con artist and shit, and he's always talking about how he wants to kill me and kick my knee in and shit. I'd like to throat punch him. Like, I'm pretty sure I would fucking just disable him, but I'd get banned from Canada at the same time. He's also a felon and shit. He's just a scumfuck, but he always tells these weird fucked up stories that I see, like on snowboarding forum, about how he's banned from different mountains for doing shit because he's fucking just insane. He's probably like one of the biggest kooks in Canada. So there, yeah. Joseph DeSico. What do you think is less impact on knees, rails or jumps? Oh, rails. Rails all day. Rails all fucking day. Oh my God, the impact you take on a jump over and over coming down and that downward pressure on everything, you are just murking yourself on another level. It's not good. So yeah. Oh, let's see. Oh, what else we got going on here? Tom T, with all those blows to your head, what helmet are you rocking? I've got an old Giro Combine that's going to get retired. It's hit the shelf life of it. I just was trying on new helmets with Kevin the other day, and the problem is the MIPS shaping has gone to that weird oval shape. I fucking looked like the Great Gazoo when I put it on, and I was like, dude, none of these things fucking fit me. So I'm going through the stress of trying to find a helmet that fits me that's low profile. So I got to go swing by Craniology here in Breckenridge and try on like 5 or 6 different helmets and kind of see what works and what doesn't work for me. Let's see. Face Gator. Snowboard jumps got nothing on knees compared to snowboarding down 20 stairs. Yay, arthritis in your 20s. You say that until you realize you're hitting good park jumps now. When I was your age, way back when, you had no clue what the fuck you were getting in store for, and it was not fun. Oh, just so everyone knows, Kevin Hub is here in the chat moderating. Maybe Alan Russell will show up now, and those two can have a bidding war over it. But if anyone has questions for Kevin, slide right on in, and you can just hit him up at Kevin Hub in the chat over there. Let's see. What else? I feel like I just missed a question. Andrew Waugh, heard you just mention Wired Snowboards in Vancouver. Any other recommendations going to Whistler, Vancouver for the first time in Christmas? Oh, you could always try to hit up Endeavor as well, because they're down there in Vancouver. Otherwise, when you're going up to Whistler, you're going to go through Squamish. You should stop at Known Manufacturing, which is Jason Braz's company. He owns Fix in Ashbury. You should stop there, and you could also stop and see Pryor Snowboards as well. So you got a couple different options there for things. So yeah. Marco with the super chat. Hey, you're a legend. The squad appreciates all you do for the culture. Avran for Prez. Dude, Marco, thanks for all the super chats. Super appreciative of it. Dude, you rock. I'm just one man trying to just do my part in the snowboarding. Like, I want to give as much back to it and more than it's ever given me. So, which ironically today, a top 10 list came out of the top 10 worst towns in New York State, and my hometown is number 3 on it. I died fucking laughing because they couldn't even make it to number 1 at being the worst. But yeah, snowboarding got me out of that shithole. So I owe snowboarding everything for getting me anywhere in life, because otherwise I'd probably be working at Walmart, or I'd be a fat contractor. Like, those are my 2 things. So yeah. Maxim Boucher, what to be most aware of going from camber, rocker camber to traditional camber? All you need to be aware of is, so like with the camber, because you had camber, rocker, camber. So what you got to be aware of is, one, you're not going to have that reverse section right between the feet where you could, if you bend your knees in, it'll pick up the contact points and you can swivel. You're not going to have that anymore. And so if you do that, you're just going to hook an edge. And the other thing is your contact point, instead of having one right underfoot where you can steer off, your contact points are only out at the tip and the tail. So you're going to steer out at the tip and the tail instead. That's the big thing right there. So yeah. Let's see. The Jihad Joe, Avran, any splitboarding wrecks? No, I have a splitboard. I think I took it out of the plastic even. I have never ridden it. I bought skins. I think they're still sitting in a box next to my bed. I bought bindings from Chad Otterstrom. I still haven't even mounted them. I'm the worst split boarder on earth, and I'm okay with that. It's not my thing. I like riding flying couches to the top of the hill and riding down. I don't like doing work, I've realized. So yeah. Okay. Let's see. Face Skater, thoughts on Telluride? Never been. Actually, well, I drove near it one time, if that counts. But I've never ridden the mountain. Hear really good things. Hear Oprah Winfrey has a house there, as well as Tom Cruise, and that they had a parade for celebritology, a religion that they were trying to start down there. So that's about it. So yeah. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, Paul Falconbridge. Can Kevin bolt bindings to a 6'1" Firewire surfboard and carve it? Probably not. But so back in the day when I lived in New York, there's this bar called the Depot, and it's right across the street from Holiday Valley. It's a legend. The owner Moose and his wife Vicky are amazing people. Total ski bums, like Moose used to film with Greg Stump back in the day and shit like that. Huge cast of characters that hang out at the bar. But there was a surfboard that used to sit above the bar. And one night, this guy, Backseat Jesus, and another guy named Soup, because everyone's got weird nicknames where I'm from, they decided that they were going to ride the surfboard down the resort. So during a blinding snowstorm, they hiked up the Yodeler run, which goes right by the Yodeler chair, which is one of the steeper runs at Holiday Valley. They made it to the top, proceeded to, and they took an anchor with them. That was how they were going to stop this is really key. This is how they were going to stop the surfboard. So they get up there, and they tried to ride this down the run. I think they made it about halfway, and it was deep snow. It was like 14 inches of heavy wet pow, and they were just planing right through it. and Soup freaked out and threw the anchor off, and he bailed, and Backseat Jesus was still on the surfboard, and the brakes hit, and he just fucking ejected. I guess he just slid down, and Soup grabbed the surfboard, and like security was watching him, and they're like running down, and it's a mile down the road from where they were to the bar, and they're like running with the surfboard, and fucking legends. It's one of those things. Yeah. Let's see what we got going on here. Lives in one of the best states for splitboarding. False. Colorado is actually one of the deadliest places for splitboarding due to our snowpack. It is one of the sketchiest snowpacks in the whole United States, and we have more backcountry deaths than any other state combined on average. Colorado is actually one of the scariest places to splitboard. Taylor Willis, do you know of any resorts in Colorado or Utah that allow pow surfing? No, because I think you have to have. Well, here's the thing. I mean, they let fucking snow skates on the lift. I'm going to bet that probably the basin wouldn't even stop you if you got on the lift with one. So, I don't know. But you don't want to ride those on hardpack. You want soft snow, and you want to hike for them. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, what do we got going on here? TJ Baugh, any thoughts on the LibTech Dynamo? Thought we had a review of that up in the LibTech review things. I thought that, or did we not? Kevin might know the answer to that one. So, yeah, hopefully that. But Dynamo is solid. I could have sworn I rode that. So, yeah. Tom T, great hearing your love for snowboarding, Avran. I just bought a new board, secret model, as I intend to buy and hoard them all. And I swear I'm as happy as when I got my first one. You bought an Orca. You bought a bunch of Orcas. You're holding out till Christmas, and you're going to sell them for $1,600 a pop. You bought all the 150s and 53s, didn't you? I knew it. There we go. Let's see. Okay. Adam Kowal, Rider's Choice versus T-Rice Pro. I would probably go with the Rider's Choice over the T-Rice Pro. I don't particularly like either of those boards personally. The T-Rice Pro, I think, is overrated by and large for most people. Rider's Choice actually has a good side cut with that ASIM side cut on there. So, yeah. Carly Elfie, best Midwest ski hill. I'm going with Trollhagen. Mainly because they follow me on here, and they always leave snarky comments, and I find it absolutely fucking hilarious. So I'm going with Trollhagen. Never been. I should probably go. I'll get like 1,000 laps in an hour. It'll be amazing. So, yeah. Cosmos86, hi. Why did Flow snowboards disappear? Great boards, but low sales. So Flow got bought by Nidecker when they acquired a bunch of other brands. And so what they did is they took all the boards from Flow and pushed them into the Nidecker lineup. So if you actually look at the Nidecker lineup, there's the Era is in there, the Merc is in there. There's a bunch of boards, great boards from Flow that went in there, and even their freeride shapes got pushed into the freeride line from Nidecker. So they're not gone. They've just merged in there, and then Flow is just going to be a binding and boot brand by itself, and then the boards will be through Nidecker. So if you actually look at the marketing from Nidecker, you can tell what boards came from Flow. Yeah. Dean Hinton, is the GNU Headspace similar to the Capita Simulator? The only thing similar to it in any regard is that it's an ASIM. It's actually stiffer. It's a more damp ride. It's not as lively as the simulator. So, yeah. J.E., ever been to Sunlight or Powderhorn? I went to Powderhorn this winter on my way to Utah. Powderhorn is fucking amazing. I love Powderhorn. It's so quaint. I went down every single run in an hour. I rode a chairlift that took me 18 and a half minutes to get to the top, and it's a single-person chairlift, and it's steep. It was amazing. I was like 6 feet off the ground, but I was going up like this. It was like riding an elevator. It was fucking amazing. I want to ride Powderhorn so bad on a powder day now. I think I might secretly be in love with Powderhorn. It was so quaint. I loved every minute of it. And the best part was when I bought my ticket, the guy's like, I'm really sorry, it's kind of busy here. And I was like, I parked in the front row at 9 in the morning. There's 2 buses out there and like 10 cars. He's like, yeah, there's a school group. It's going to be really busy up there. And I never waited in line. It was phenomenal. Xander Castro, headed to Colorado. Epic Resort. You're looking at driving to Crested Butte on one of the worst times of the year to do it, on roads that are probably going to be a little bit questionable that you're not used to driving. I would definitely say don't do it. Ride Breck, ride Keystone, go over, ride Vale, and then ride Beaver Creek as well. Save yourself the headache of, because it's going to be like 4 to 5 hours to get from Breck to Crested Butte. That's if you're speeding. If there's weather or anything in the way, you're looking at upwards of a 7-hour drive one way. It's not worth it if you're trying to capitalize on time. There we go. Kenji Yamamoto, are you doing any trips this winter? What one are you looking forward to the most? So there will be a trip to Utah because that's just kind of a thing. I have to go hang out with superfan Alan Russell and try to talk him down from kidnapping Kevin. But I'm going to go out there. I want to do like a meetup at Powder Mountain for all of you guys, for anyone that's out there and stuff, because there's a lot of people from Powder Mountain. Just go out and ride with some people, have some fun. And there's a bunch of resorts I want to go hit out there. Plus, the guys I grew up with, we were at a wedding a couple weeks ago, and we all realized we hadn't been in the same room, all of us together, in about 14 years. And the groom and I actually started plotting about a week ago, getting all the guys together to just have an old friends trip, because we've all kind of gone our separate ways and shit. And I'm actually outfitting some of the guys with brand new gear right now. They don't know it yet, but they're getting head to toe new setups because I'm fucking appalled at the shit they're riding. But yeah, so that's a big one for me. That's going to be like, I'm just going to disappear from the internet for probably a week to hang out with those guys for that trip. Then there's a bunch of other little trips. Like I'm probably going to pick up the Indy Ski Pass. It's that new independent pass that came out. It's $199. There's 44 resorts on it. You get 2 days at each resort. I want to hit up all these little mom and pops that are on there and kind of do like a review series of little mom and pop resorts. So I'm going to get off the beaten path, kind of do that stuff, kind of pull back on the doing 100+ board reviews because no one should fucking do that. And yeah, so that's kind of what I got going on for trips. Jeff Birchfield, I moved to Seattle. What's the best way to avoid crowds? Don't ride on weekends in Seattle, especially Stevens Pass. That highway up to Stevens Pass will be a fucking shit show. So you could definitely go ride. They do have night riding up there, so you can get up there and go. But the big thing is definitely. Oh shit! Didn't realize the internet connection was being a little wonkapotamus. Yeah, so go to Summit at Snoqualmie, get up there, go check out those ones. Ride midweek if you can. Trying to set your schedule up so it's not weekend. Saturday and Sundays are a fucking shit show. That's the big thing. Holiday weekends, go to Crystal, go to White Pass, go up to Baker. Try to get away, like go further out from Seattle if you can. Also, you're not that far from like doing a long weekend trip to Schweitzer, Idaho. So I would do that as well. Spencer Thompson, I ride at Stevens Pass, and one board I ride is a Palmer Channel XTI. What board should I replace it with? Charges super powered, but it's kind of ancient. Love the content. Thanks. Yeah, get rid of that fucking thing. I fucking hated those Palmer boards, especially that one. A whole bunch of them. I actually bent one of theirs. No, what you're looking for, you're talking like you need something like a Burton Custom X, a Telos DST, Jones Ultra Flagship, GNU Mueller, Ride Berserker or Ride Commissioner. Probably the Commissioner would ride the closest to that. So check those boards out. Tom T, if Nitro Bindings didn't have any canteen, would you have considered them because of the air dampening? Yes, I would have. Actually, I'm stoked that the Black Labels came with 2 sets of pads, so I was able to swap out the 2.5 degree canteen to 0, and I love not having canteen in my bindings. Okay, Berto and Fuso. Avran, your thoughts on the SP step-in bindings? Oh, they're fucking garbage. Oh, those Fast Tech bullshit bindings. They're fucking garbage. And so many companies have licensed them and slapped their name on them. There's so many better rear entry bindings. They're such fucking garbage. Let's see. Better stop swearing in the chat. Jay Sloth with the super chat, just saying Victoria Jalous. I don't even know why, but that's kind of funny. Okay. Cosmos86, what bindings to pair with a 2017 Flow Solitude? Brother is looking at Flow Fuser NX2. He's charging hard, coming off 2012 K2 formulas, wants convenience of rear entry bindings, and got fat. I would go with the NX2 carbon ones. Was it the CNX2 or whatever it is? Talk to Kevin about that. He knows a lot more about those than I do. But yeah, super solid. So yeah, let's see. Noober's Woo. Is there much overlap with the simulator and the Hot Knife? No, those are two entirely different boards. Hot Knife is burly as fuck, stiff. You're going to have to work for it to get what you want out of it. A simulator is a lot more laid back, easier to use, more mellow, a little more jibby, more playful. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Tom, any thoughts on the Jones Ultra Mind Expander in comparison to the regular Mind Expander? Yes. Downsize on the Ultra Mind Expander. So they have the recommended size for your weight. You can actually, you want to be at the top end of the weight spectrum on that board. The camber is aggressive on it. It is a stiff board, very stiff. It is not as surfy and playful as the regular Mind Expander, but my God, does that tail sink so well on the Ultra Mind Expander, which it sinks exceptionally well on the regular one as well. Those boards, but the way that they work in snow, like if you want something that's not going to be forgiving at all and push through everything in its path and feel that rebound into you, that's the Ultra Mind Expander. If you want a little more surfy, a little more playful, ease of entry into turns, ease of exit of turns, regular Mind Expander. So yeah. Spencer Thompson, $5 super chat. Shit talking my board. Thanks. Super chat censored me. Goddamn super chat. Just fucking censoring everybody. I'm over here saying shit, fuck, ass, and hooker boots. Will Kelly, what can you say about the Capita Slush Slasher? What can't I say about the Capita Slush Slasher? If you have not seen our review of the Capita Slush Slasher, you should, well, it's actually technically the Spring Break Slush Slasher, just made by Capita. You should swing over to the Spring Break playlist or the Snowboard review playlist on this channel. Check out the review of it. That board is a fun little party board that you can rip carves on. It's great in low angle pow. It's great in trees. It's a fun, just little fuck around board. So yeah, there we go. Let's see what's going on. Whew. Let's see. Chuck Van, what size typo would you recommend at 210 pounds, 5'7", thinking 152 would be too small to carve, 55 or 58? You can get away with the 55, but what's going to happen is you're going to overflex that board, and it's going to be a lot more playful. The 58 would probably be more ideal. So yes, Avran, have you ever ridden a Never Summer Warlock? It was my first board, and now I realize it was a noodle. I didn't ride the Warlock. I rode the Sims version of it, which was camber, so it's different. I try not to think of Never Summer boards. I just try not to. I just don't think they're good anymore. I also think that company fucking sucks. So, yeah, there you go. Kenji Yamamoto, also just wanted to say thanks for all the advice, Avran and Kevin. I picked up the Tellus DST and can't wait. Still thinking about no high back nows. Ooh, that would be really surfy on that. That could be a little different though, although I really like the way the DST carves. I would probably want a high back on that. So there you go. Jonathan Marone with the super chat. Thanks for keeping it real. Thanks for the super chat. Fred McGunn, Michigan man here, getting aboard for Mount Bohemia, not to be confused with Mount Bulimia. That place sucks. Powder and trees. I'm old and fat, 235 pounds, with 10.5 feet. What size board would you recommend? Thinking Super Pig. Will it handle downstate hardpick? Oh yeah, Super Pig. Fuck yeah, that would be a great board for riding the Upper Peninsula like that at Bohemia. That would be a good one. The Marhar Sasquatch, if you wanted to support local, that would be another good one. Or the Libtech Stump Ape. Those would be 3 boards. But the Super Pig, for sure. I think you could even get away with the 54 at your weight. 58 would probably be a little more suited for you, though. Yeah, super solid choice right there. So, yeah. Let's see. Fizzled, how often do you make it out in the backcountry? I haven't been out in a couple years. It's not very often. And I'm not talking going out an access gate and doing slack country. I'm talking full-blown backcountry. Slack country, I get out all the time. I cut out gates in and out all the time. Let's see. Oh, 10:45. Oh, let's see. We wanted to, let's give you guys another story because it's 10:45. Story time with Uncle Avran. All right. Sketchy hitchhiking story. Actually, this isn't even sketchy. The guy wasn't that sketchy. It was just kind of creepy. It's kind of funny. So last year, I'm driving up to a basin. It's kind of late season. There's a storm going on, and I see this guy on the side of the road. I think he's hitchhiking, but I'm not sure if he's hitchhiking. Like he's standing there, and his thumb is kind of just like this, but it's like pressed against him. I was like, is he trying to hitchhike? I don't know. He's got a snowboard. Fuck it. I'll pick him up. People used to pick me up all the time at the base of Keystone. So I pull over, and the guy, his English was not so good. I mean, it was decent, but it wasn't so good. And he was just like, you give me a ride? And I was like, yeah, you going to the basin? I'll take you to the basin, man. I'm like, sure, no problem. So, he's like, oh, okay. All right. I was like, put your stuff in the back. And he's like, you sure? He was like apprehensive, he's like scared like I was going to drive off. And I was like, yeah, go ahead. Just pop the tailgate, throw it in. You'll see all the other stuff, don't worry about it. Just throw it right on top. You'll be fine. You want the heated seat turned on? What do you want, man? It's kind of cold out. I'll turn the heated seat on first. I'd like turn it on. And I'm driving up. And if anyone's ever driven up a basin, it's like a windy road. So I hit about the second turn and the guy's looking at me and he goes, do I know you? And I was like, oh shit, this isn't good. This isn't good. He's like, I know you. And I was like, probably? And he's like, I was like, I've lived here for like years. And he's like, no. You're from the internet. You're Mr. Angry Snowboarder. He called me Mr. Angry Snowboarder. And I was like, okay. He's like, you answered my question and I bought that board. And I was like, oh, good for you. And I think he had like a yes, pick your line or yeah, I think it was actually a yes, pick your line or a standard, but I think it was the pick your line. I was like, oh, that's a good board. I'm like talking to him and he's like super awkward. And he's just like, just like looking at me like this. And it's really, and he kept calling me Mr. Angry. Just like, this is fucking weird. So, and I was like, oh, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I took the winter off from New York City and moved out here just to snowboard every day. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, have you ever hitchhiked before? And he's like, no, I've never hitchhiked before and I don't drive. And I was like, oh, you're like New York. Okay. All right. I got you. I know what's up. And I was like, yeah, dude, don't ever worry about hitchhiking. Just stick your thumb out. Someone will give you a ride. It's not that big of a deal. Like, fuck it. I do it all the time. It's not a big deal. So like we're driving up there and the whole time he's just like creepily looking at me and just like, and it was fucking awkward as shit. And he was asking me like snowboard questions, which is fine. I'll answer anyone's snowboard questions. Fuck it. I brought this on myself. I pulled over to pick him up. But he kept calling me Mr. Angry. It was so fucking weird. And so we get up there and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go get ready. And he's like, oh, okay. He didn't want to ride with me. And like, he did not want to even acknowledge me once I dropped him off. So I don't know if I like vibed him out. I don't know if he was like freaked out at my music or what. I don't know. It was weird, but he was like paranoid to hitchhike to begin with, but he was like super creepy and awkward. And it's funny. So he was Asian and he's not the first Asian guy to call me Mr. Angry. I got spotted at work at the liquor store and the guy comes up and he's like, excuse me, sir. And I was like, yes. And he's like, are you Mr. Angry Snowboarder? And I was like, yeah, that's what I do. And he's like, I thought I recognized your voice in back. I listened to a podcast. He shook my hand, then he stood there for like 10 minutes awkwardly staring at me, didn't say anything, and then left. Didn't even buy anything. Fucking weird. I don't know if that's just like an Asian thing or what. I don't know. Like, love those people. They're great. But yeah, Super fucking awkward. It was just like really, really creepy. Still not as funny as the time when I was hitchhiking from Keystone up from the base of Keystone to A Basin. So I'm like sitting out there, got my thumb out, and this woman, Subaru Forester, and she just like, and she rolls the window. She's like, "You want to ride?" And I was like, "Sure." And she's like, "Throw your board in the back." So I throw the board in the back, and there's a child seat, and she's got a kid back there, like a newborn infant. And I was like, "Oh my god, you are really trusting, lady." And the first words out of her mouth is she like just hands me a bottle. She's like, "It's full of breast milk. Feed my kid." And so I'm like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "I'll take you wherever you want to go." Oh god, the connection's getting unstable too. Right when the story's getting good. Right when the story's getting good. This is not good. This is not good. Come on, reconnect. Why the fuck is my connection going out? Oh. So the connection's back. So anyway, baby was probably, "No, you're doing it wrong. Come on, just do that." And then she's like, "No, give it to me. Hold the wheel." So I'm holding the wheel, and she's back there. And so like, finally the kid starts taking the bottle and shit. She's like, "Oh, do you hitchhike often?" And it's like the conversation and tone just really changed. And she's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I'm a single mom." And I was like, oh, no. I'm not father material. Not father material at all. I was also like 26 at the time. I was like, yeah. This was even before I started angry. And I was like, no. She proceeds to try to like solicit me for a date. And the whole time I'm just like, "Please get me to the basin. Please. I never want to see this crazy lady again." Super weird. But yeah, like sprayed a baby with breast milk. Fucking awkward. So yeah. I don't do well with single parents. I'm just I don't trust myself with me, and these people want to trust me with a child. Ooh, that's a bad. Nope. So yeah. All right. Okay, what do we got going on here? Josu, I'm looking at buying the Super Pig. I'm 5'4", stocky 235. I know you say it's all about the weight, but at 159 is out of the question. What's your advice? I'm thinking 151. Please advise. I was going to say the 54 for a 235-pound guy would be fine. But you're 5'4". I think you could do a 51. It'll be fine. It's just going to be you're going to overflex it more than anything. So, yeah, there we go. All right. All right, what else we got going on here? Ooh, what else is going on? Frank 0020, did she lactate in front of you? Probably. I don't know. Fuck. Whoa. I don't know what it is about single moms, but they will flip their tits out and breastfeed in front of me like it's no tomorrow. Like, they're like, "Oh, this guy's fine." And I'm just like, please don't. I don't want to see you, baby, I don't for owning feelasnowboarding.com. Oh my god, why is the fucking connection unstable? Okay. All right. Is that better? The fuck? Who the fuck is digging around here at fucking 11 o'clock at night that they're disturbing the cable? All right. No, I would definitely. All right. No, I would definitely never have a Fila Pro model boot. I would never design a boot for Fila, but I will sell them feelasnowboarding.com and I will laugh all the way to the bank. Like $50,000, they can have Fila Snowboarding. It's theirs. All right. Yes, the angry internet connection is real tonight. Fizzled. No more Zimas in the reviews. Oh no. I've got a lifetime supply of Zima. Don't you ever think the Zimas will not be in reviews. I've got Zimas for days. Oh no, I stocked up. I knew when I saw the gold in that. Best things ever. And for anyone that doesn't catch the Zima reference, you need to be following me on Instagram. It's amazing. It's amazing what you can do with Zima. Whoa. All right. Let's see. Dominic, I would pay to see you be an instructor for a day with a group of 6-year-olds. Okay, so like random thing, like as as I refer to it, we're all orphans in the mountains, so we like have adoptive families. I'm an uncle now to like a bunch of my friends, kids. Oh, 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 oh. I fear those children, how they turn out with me as an uncle. Like I just look at them, I'm like, you're 2. Oh God, you're calling me Uncle Avran. Here's $20, go away. Here's another $20, go away. Here's like I'm trying to set up like a fund for her. So when she turns 18, she can do something cool. It's like not a college fund. It's like, here's it. You're 18. Here's a shitload of money. I don't care what you do. You can fucking buy cocaine and booze. I can go to spring break. Do whatever you want. You're 18. It's going to be crazy. It's fucking weird. If Kevin ever has a child, I'm not allowed near it. Let's see. Mike Garcia, have you ever rode Silverton? No, but it is on the list for this year potentially. I think we might make it down, Kevin and I. So, yeah. All right. Steven Sanchez, best place to ride trees in your opinion? Beaver Creek. Beaver Creek out the Stone Creek chutes. It is if you get out there on a foot or more day, it's like being in Japan from what I've been told. But that is my favorite place in the world to ride trees. For years on my birthday, which is December 21st, we would always go to Beaver Creek because we could always find POW over there, and we would just ride trees all day. And it's fucking phenomenal. Love tree riding at Beaver Creek. Steamboat's a close second, though. Yeah. Andrew, who's your favorite snowboard company to interact with? Seems like you have a great relationship with Rome. Oh, Rome and I? We have a very solid relationship. I ice the office. They don't talk to me for a while. I threaten to ice the office. Boards for review show up. It's amazing. I tell them I need bindings. They tell me they can make it happen. I ask them if they want a Zima. I send them all Zimas. It's fucking amazing. No, Rome is good. There's a few different brands that I have good relationships with. Nitro is always fun to work with because Canute is super solid, as well as Benny and Jeff over there. Those guys are really fun to work with. Capita's good. Like Mark Dangler is a good guy to work with. Johan's funny. He and I kind of have like a love-hate relationship. I think it's like an East Coast thing because he's like New England East Coast and I'm like real East Coast. So, whatever. I have a really good relationship with a lot of my reps out here, and that's kind of how it translates. I've had on-again, off-again relationships with like K2 Ride, Bert, and stuff like that. But Rome is always a fun one to screw with because like their whole marketing spiel and how they do things, like they're really open to kind of degenerate shit that I do. And the funny thing is, like, I'll ice them, and they're all sitting in the office, and they're like, "Well, he doesn't drink. There's nothing we can really do to him. This kind of fucking sucks." So, yeah, it's kind of funny. So, yeah. All right. Ooh, Wayne McKenzie with the super chat. Thoughts on the Invasion board from Marhar? It's okay. It's not my favorite board in their lineup. I feel it's a little too loose in the tips, but if you've seen the review of it, I mean, it's a solid board, and it makes sense. I always like the Regent more, and the Archaic is better in my opinion. But if you're looking for like a park board that's more jib oriented, it's super, super solid. So it's not a bad deck, but I feel like there's other boards in their line that are better. All right. Let's see. What else we got going on? Water bottle. Avran, what if I told you I'm your child? You're an inanimate object that's sentient. You're not my child. Unless you were made by... I don't hang out with any women anymore. If there's any women in here, swipe right on Tinder. Yeah. And as far as I know, I don't have any illegitimate children. No one got my baby gravy sprayed all over them or in them. I don't know how that works. Oh, let's see what else we got going on here. Birdo Infuser. Avran, you've ridden 3BT, TBT boards. What's your thoughts on it? Some of them are good. Some of them are bad. And that's the problem with it. It's never consistent with how they do it. It's one of those things where some of them, like the Carver blew me away. I thought it was going to suck having 3BT on it, and that board still ripped a turn, and I even got on some like icier shit, and it didn't wash out. But then like I ride the Battalion whatever, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with this thing?
Like there can be too much 3BT in a board, and there can be, and that really just doesn't allow the board to maneuver the way you want, and it doesn't give you the edge hold. But at times I've been on ones where I'm like, wow, this is really, really fun. Like this is really like the party wave, the camel toe, the surfer, phenomenal in deep snow, phenomenal powder boards. So yeah.
Let's see. What else we got going on? I think we're caught up on those questions.
Ooh, Steven Sanchez, thoughts on the American Dream? They don't even have an occupancy license right now, is what I found out. I just saw something on NJ.com where they didn't have that, so they're not even open, or they can't open yet. Sounds like that thing was built with a lot of corruption behind it and using money from people's pension funds and shit. I mean, the concept of having an indoor slope there makes sense. It's so close to New York City. I think that it will probably actually do well if it's managed right. I want to fly into Jersey and see some of my friends and go there and ride it for a day. But right now, like, I don't know about the American Dream over there. That's more like the American Nightmare.
Let's see what we got going on there. Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. Tom T. Wow, where can one snowboard in India resorts? Gulmarg fucking holds the record for POW. Dude, I constantly look at that place and think I want to go, but due to being immune suppressed and health issues, I feel like I would probably die if I went there. And it's a 50-50 crapshoot on what's going to happen to me. But I would love to ride Gulmarg in India so bad. Like that. Anytime I see photos from that place and just how it is, I'm also constantly worried that I might cross the border into Pakistan and get shot, which wouldn't be good. That would not be good. I don't do so well with the bullets. Let's see. What else going on? Tom T. Avran, tell us the truth. Are you a dentist now with those fancy bindings? I traded some Zima for them. No, those bindings, believe me, it blew my mind that I was actually going to go to something that high end because I normally don't. It just rode so phenomenally well. It was the best binding that I rode out of probably like 20-something, 25 bindings for 2020. And I was like, shit, I'm going to have to pull the trigger and get these. And I knew it because I was just like, I was getting so fed up with trying so many other bindings. Definitely not a dentist. Not a dentist at all. No, I mean, I failed out of community college with a 0.0. So how the hell am I going to make it to dental school? Okay. What else we got? Let's see. Ooh. Let's see. Cale Mitchell, best Colorado shred town. Well, Breckenridge is probably hands down the best shred town. I did live in Steamboat for a while, and I've heard good things about Aspen. I've got a lot of friends that have migrated that way and said that it's the real deal. So, but here's the thing about Steamboat. This is the way I look at it. If you're going to go to college, like community college, and you want to shred, go to Steamboat, go to CMC, take the snow business program, which is a bullshit applied associate's degree. But you can take that, but take the actual business courses, and you do that for 2 years, and you can shred the whole time while you're up there. Then what you do is you transfer down to the Breck campus, finish out your business degree, so that's 2 more years because CMC is actually technically a 4-year school, and you could live in Breck, and then you move over to Aspen. So, yeah. Let's see. So there you go. What else? Ooh. Donna J. Thakur. Gulmarg is not the only place. Manali and Himachal Paradist is hub for heli skiing. Ooh, good to know. Got to look more into that. So, yeah. Let's see. Any other questions going on in here? I feel like I missed a question or two. Let's see. No? Or do you think it's worth the price tag, especially 3L Gore-Tex? I hate Gore-Tex. Fucking hate the way it feels. It makes me slimy as shit. It's got a crinkly sound to it and sounds really fuck with me in my head. I don't like it. I think it's overpriced. I think you're paying for a brand name, and that's it. Kevin will probably argue with me about that. I don't care. I'm right. I'm the one on camera. He's sitting at home playing with his wiener. So, yeah. Let's see. Berto and Fuso. Is Burton step on a bad move from Burton? You've seen many folks riding on those. Was a big thing when they came out. Don't hear anyone talking about it anymore. I don't think it was a bad move. I think it was smart. I think they built the hype around it perfectly and sold a shit ton of units, and that really helped them. But at the same time, I think it was a very limited marketplace. Like, the people that wanted it were the ones that were riding the old Burton SIs, and they had those for 20 years. These are the same people. They're going to just stockpile a few pairs of boots and a few pairs of bindings so they've got stuff when they need it, and that's it. Like, I don't see that many people riding them out there. Like, I saw one guy in the last 2 weeks of A Basin being open, or week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. They've been open 2 weeks, so that's all that I've seen. Yeah. Let's see. Tom T. Avran, do you wear any knee sleeves while riding? Yeah, I've got a compression sleeve with lateral interior and anterior support right there so that it supports the meniscus and stuff, because pretty sure I don't have a meniscus in either knee anymore, is what my doctor was telling me. But he said since it's not bothering me, I should just keep doing what I'm doing. So I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, do ride with sleeves for my knees just to kind of keep the kneecap in place and whatnot. Yep. All right. What else we got going on here? Jack Ripper, any woman you think should or could step up to do YouTube board reviews? Nope. I think there's women on YouTube that are trying and they're giving bad advice and they couldn't review their way out of a paper bag. I wouldn't trust them to give me an opinion on a Kleenex. So, no. I think there's women that want to do it, but I think they're scared of guys shitting on them, for one. Women shitting on them. The intimidation factor of being a face on camera as well. And then the other thing is the startup to get, if they came out and did their own channel, like how to grow it. I don't think people understand. Like, everyone gives me shit. They're like, oh, your subscriber count is so low. And I'm like, over here sitting here thinking, I'm 11 years in on Angry. Like, yeah, I know it's low, but I've played this game. I know I'm running a marathon. It doesn't bother me. But I think that's another thing that intimidates people, is like them to come out. And I've seen Snowboard Pro Camp and TJ and them work with Janice Spiteri to do board reviews. I don't ever about board gear. She just doesn't know her ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to that. I think she's more concerned with, like, look at me, I'm going to be an actress, and look at me, I'm going to go to the Olympics. And she's not a good snowboarder. I just be honest. She's not Olympic level at all. So, yeah. All right. Gene Graves, size 10.5 boots, medium or large cartels? It does depend on the boot. I do know that a medium will fit up to a 10.5, even certain 11s from some brands. It depends on what year cartel as well. So, yeah. Let's see. Fizzled, how does Janice Spiteri think that she's a pro? Anyone can think they're a pro.
You can think it. I could claim I'm a pro. I know people that are snowboard instructors that are like, I'm a professional snowboarder. No, you're a professional caretaker. You're like, that's like, you're not even good enough to take people on a guide, to be a guide and show them around the mountain. Like, you're teaching never ever's J turns, but you can claim it. Doesn't mean you are it. Like, my friends are legitimate pros. Some of them are regional pros, some of them are super pros, and everything in between. Like, I've got friends that do everything. And that's fine. And like, it's funny, my friends that were like super pro never thought they were super pro. So yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. What else we got going on in here? Kale Mitchell, most underrated resort in Colorado. I'm going with Powderhorn on this one. Everyone's overlooking it. They're just driving down 70, heading to Utah. It's right there before Grand Junction. Could pull off and go ride it, but nope, they keep going. Totally underrated. Yeah. Wolf Creek is pretty sick from what I heard. I've never actually been there. I drove the pass for the first time. I was like, holy fuck, this is gnarly. So yeah, definitely Wolf Creek should be on that list. It's like the littler ones that are off the beaten path. Like, there's such a hype machine for the big marketed resorts and the front range resorts. And when you start to get out there, there's a bunch of like really cool. You start to get out there. There's a bunch of like really cool resorts that are out there. I actually found that there's like a bunch of resorts I'd never heard of in Colorado. And I was like, holy fuck, I need to go check these places out. So I'm gonna try to get off the beaten path and hit a few things. Yeah. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Jimmy McElroy. Can you tell us a story when you got into an online spat with Never Summer in 2014? No, I could. What do you need to know? They fucking took the side of a guy that came out as denouncing being a white American to become a Muslim, a white Muslim, went crazy. What do you need to hear? Like, shit. Come on, reconnect. All right, fuck. What the fuck is going on with that internet connection? Okay, Chuck Van, where gets more busy, Whistler or Breckenridge? Well, they'll claim that Whistler does, but they don't. It's Breckenridge. Breckenridge is supposed to cap its lift ticket sales. They don't, and Vail just pays the fee to the town. I mean, you want to talk about the biggest clusterfuck ever? Come to Breckenridge on a holiday weekend and if it snows, just watch it be a shit show. When it takes you 2 hours to get 4 blocks in your car, like, it's literally easier for me to walk 3/4 of a mile to City Market and back when it's busy than it is to take the bus or to drive. 3/4 of a mile. I'm only going about 6 blocks one way, so 12 blocks total. Not even city blocks, like Breckenridge blocks, which are tiny. Breckenridge is fucking on another level that people will never comprehend. Let's see what we got going on here. Tom T, don't see much about smoke. Are they surviving? Well, why don't you ask Water Bottle in the chat? He works there. I think they're running a little bit behind on production this year, it looks like, and might be having some issues, but he would know more about that than me. Amber Roses, what wax is best and how often should you wax your board? Don't wax your board. You don't need to wax your board. The big thing is structure in your base. That's the big thing. Like, wax doesn't do shit. Like, structure, getting your board stone ground so that it's got the right structure to your base is the big thing. I don't believe in waxing. Actually, I'm going to be doing a video here soon. I got some of that new liquid base. It's not a wax. It's like not wax, but it's a glide formula. It's kind of like what Phantom does. I've got some of that from a guy in the UK, and I'm going to be doing a whole video. I'm going to put it on a board and go ride it like 20 days, and I guarantee you it's going to be amazing. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, waxing isn't important. The big thing is structure in the base, making sure your edges are sharp if you need sharp edges, deburring them, stuff like that, staying on top of that. But a hot wax, like, I haven't hot waxed one of my boards in like 8 years. I just don't. I don't wax my boards. If they get a little too chalky white, I'll take them in and just have them run it over the belt really quick, and that's it. Yeah.
Let's see what else we got going on here.
Juan Gutierrez, anyone know what happened to D-Day Snowboard? Oh, I can give you the whole story. They had moved production after the first year from Never Summer to GP87. But it wasn't GP87 at the time. It was a different factory. I think it was called Yaki or whatever it was. And then it went to GP87. But basically, Nico Nolan, the guy that started D-Day Snowboards, is a con artist. And he claimed that he was bankrolling it through his sugar mama wife, whatever she was. And it was a tax shelter, basically. But what he did is he conned a bunch of people out of money, like Chris Roach and Mike Rankwit and shit and a few other people. And people weren't paid. Boards weren't there. And the last part of it was he'd ordered like 7,000 or 10,000 boards. It was some obscene number from GP87, but he hadn't paid for them, and he kept arguing with them that his lawyer was going to get involved and sue them if they didn't release the boards, but he hadn't paid for them, and they told him, look, man, if you pay for the boards, you can have the boards. But he's like, well, if you give me the boards, I can sell the boards, and then I can pay you. Kind of shiesty shit. So they ended up selling the boards on him for pennies on the dollar, I think, to like someone in South Korea or something like that. But basically, the dude, it was a con. It was a fucking long con the whole way. The dude, Nico Nolan, that started it, is a fucking kook. He's a con artist. He's a fraud. He's a fraudster. And I've seen people do this in snowboarding. And it's sad because it fucked over Chris Roach. It fucked over Mike Rankwit. It fucked over Andrew Burns, Laura Hadar. It fucked over a lot of people. And the guy was a con artist. And that's what happened. And so, fuck him. I hope he gets syphilis of his ass. Yep, there you go. Okay, what else we got going on here? Why are people sending me messages? All right. Okay, those don't matter. Dominic White, Avran, why don't you wax? I've covered this numerous times. You can watch any of the previous live streams or even any of the podcasts where it's mentioned in there. I believe on the Friday the 13th podcast, I believe I talked about it in the first podcast, second podcast, and fourth podcast. I do not need to go back into it. Okay. Let's see. Dominic White, Avran, I read the Todd Richards book. It was amazing. Thanks for the recommendation. No worries, man. I'm always trying to find other shred books that don't suck. So hopefully... Jack Ripper, one of my boards with an extruded base would get white in the edges so fast. Does base type make a difference? Well, I mean, extruded always gets white, but if you ever notice, you can like just rub your finger on it and it just goes away. I'm serious. If you take like a wet rag, you can just rub it over that and it'll disappear. It'll just disappear. So yeah. What the hell currency is NT? Raul Duke with the super chat. It's making me donate an NT. What currency is NT? Someone look that up. Is that Taiwanese? What is that? So what is that? Like $1.50? That's weird. I always look at these big numbers and think they're amazing until I look up what currency it is, and I'm like, oh my god, that's nothing. But I still appreciate it. Ooh, $5 US. Hell yeah, I'll take $5. Fucking that towards Kevin getting a new car fund, so I have to buy him a used Subaru. Got my eye on this 1988 GL wagon. It's a 4-speed with push-button 4-wheel drive. I think I can get it for him for like $800. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got going on in here. Kiel Mitchell, what is your dream shred spot? Example, Europe, Japan. I think Japan is actually probably the one that has been calling my name for 20 years, and I have to shit or get off the pot on that. I need to get out there. I would love to do a whole winter in nothing but Japan, just doing kardanchi, just traveling around, shredding, chasing snow, doing whatever. Something about Japan that just calls to me. It's just always like Europe. For some reason, I just have no ambition to friggin' go there. Like I know I will, but it's like never like, oh, I gotta go there. I'm more like Japan. Ooh, someone say Japan. I want to go to Japan, which is funny because most of the food there will kill me. Seafood allergies. But yeah. So yeah. Raul Duke, Neil Hartman. Neil Hartman's the man. I love that dude. For anyone that doesn't know, like you can search Cardanchi snowboard movies, and there's this British guy. I think he's British. He might be Australian, but named Neil Hartman, and he does the Cardanchi, which Cardanchi is just like living in your car and traveling around and stuff. But the videos are phenomenal if you want to see people ride Japanese powder. Yeah. Water bottle. So do I have to make a detailed report on smoking or no? Yes. Give us the detailed report, water bottle. Let's see. Let's see. Jack Ripper. Favorite Hollywood ski or snowboard movie? I love Better Off Dead. Better Off Dead is great, but that's mainly because Lane Meyer is my spirit guide. I love John Cusack. That movie is fucking hilarious, especially with the multiple different ways he tries to kill himself in that. And the French foreign exchange student that pretends not to speak English. I love that movie. But I think realistically, if you want to see something that's amazing, check out Snowboard Academy with Corey Haim. Oh yeah. Filmed at Mount St. Louis Moonstone, Canada. Yeah. It's bad, but it's good. But it's bad. I also, one of the reasons I like that is one of the guys, it's not Corey Haim, but he rides a snowboard that my brother actually pressed in a factory in the 90s. So that's another interesting tidbit. Ugh. Andrew Watt. Out Cold is a pretty epic snowboard movie. It's also Casablanca on snow. I mean, if you really think about it, it's Casablanca on snow. But we do get to see Todd Richards with a mullet, so there is that. I mean, you know, he doesn't even get snowboard in it, but he has a mullet. And Todd likes to talk about that mullet. Like every year he either posts a photo of one of his royalty checks, which is like 6 cents from that movie, and then talks about his great mullet. Okay, what else we got going on here? Jack Ripper, what U.S. factory does the best work? I think Marhar, personally. I think consistently wise, I feel like they do a higher end finish on their boards than a lot of other people. Like when you look at how boards come out of factories and the finish on the base as well as the top sheet and the sidewells, theirs always look superior than everyone else's. J. Crew, damn, you guys still going? Dude, it's late night. You know how this goes. Amber Rosas, what's the best binding to go with the Super Pig for my guy? I think if you're like looking for something that's going to be a good matchup to it, you're looking at like a Burton Cartel or Malavita, even a Genesis if you want to. If you go Burton, you could do a ride rodeo as well if you want to stick with the whole ride theme. K2, I would put the Lean AT on there. That way you got the option to pull the heel block out and make it a little more surfy. I think the Now IPO or even the Now Yes binding, give it a little bit surfy. I'd probably go with the Now times Yes binding just because the high back's a little bit lower. And so it'll be a little more surfy on there. If you're going to do Rome, I would do the Katana or the Vice. Probably the Katana. I just feel like that's going to be a better binding. So there. Oh, and you're saying he's a surfer? Also check out the Now Times Captain Finn collab. Since he's a surfer, he'll recognize the name. Let's see. What else we got going on? Roof Goat. What do you think about ski resorts like Deer Valley that don't allow snowboards? They're racists, classists. They have small penises. Peni, maybe, because there's two of them, so they're peni. But yeah, I think it's kind of bullshit that I have when I buy an Icon Pass, I've got 7 days at 2 resorts I can't go to. Like, why you should have an option for snowboarders where I get like an extra 7 days at Brighton. I'd fucking take just even 7 more days at Brighton. Fuck them. There's so many other resorts you could go to. Who cares? They can suck a dick with their butthole.
Okay. Ooh, what else we got going here?
Hound, thoughts on stomp pads? Never had one. Kind of feel like they're training wheels for the retarded, but some people need them. So if you're going to get one, get a crab grab. At least you get a cool one. Other than that, I think the last time I had a board with a stomp pad, it was 1998. So 21 years ago. Yeah.
All right. What else we got going on here? Okay, so Water Bottle has pretty much summed up what's going on with Smokin', making multiple late releases that haven't even started production, had 3 people quit in August, Jay hired incompetent people, fired them, hired somewhat competent douchebags. Kidwell and Nate Holland are getting pro models, pretty sure I can talk about that. Yeah, no, he put that on the gram. Everything is a little behind. I'm not sure if Jay's always been that way. Oh no, he's notorious for being that way. That's just Jay. Good dude, but he needs to hire a production manager. All right. Let's see.
Ooh. James D. Avran, DWD Brewster or Mercury? Rad Dead here. Well, I owned a Brewster. Actually, just gave it away to a friend of mine. But yeah, I owned a Brewster and I've got a Mercury sitting here. It's going to come down to what you want shape-wise. What I like about the Brewster is the slam back inserts, which will make it a little bit better in POW because you can really set it back. And that camber profile, and it does rip in an exceptional carve, and I love that shape. The Mercury is a far more well-balanced board for everything, in my opinion. And I feel like it's solid. Basically, here's what I would do. If you can find a last year's Brewster on sale, swoop it for sure. If not, grab a Mercury. Kale Mitchell, thoughts on people drinking snowboard culture? Well, I just sent a box of Zima to Rome, so there's that. I can't drink. Here's the thing. Take warning labels off things, let people do fucked up shit, and then have them suffer from the consequences. That's it. Go fuck. Who am I to... Why should I be a prohibitionist? I don't care. Just because I can't drink doesn't mean they shouldn't be allowed to drink. Fuck it. I don't care. Let them do it. Understand your limits. Take responsibility for your actions. Don't drink and shred. Like, don't be a drunk and shred, you know? So there. I don't care. Amber Rosa says it best. Drinking isn't the problem. Drunk people are. Yeah, I fucking hate drunk people. I have no problem being around booze all day. I fucking sell booze. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, that's about it. Snifflick YT. I have this stream open in 5 tabs, and it sounds like a constant vibration of Avran speaking.
Mac Winland, what bindings would you recommend for the Capita Mercury?
I think anything in like that 220 price range or above, something that is all mountain, so like a Rome Katana, a Burton Genesis. You could even do a Burton Cartel if you wanted to. K2 Formula, K2 Lean AT, Now IPO, although that might be a little too soft for some people. So you could do a Now Drive if you wanted to go a little bit stiffer. Ride Rodeo, any of those ones. We will be having a bunch of binding reviews dropping next month. Yeah.
Andrew, what flex binding would you throw on a snow plank?
Oh my god, dude, those things are so stiff because the way they build them, there's just like no torsional flex to them. It doesn't even matter what flex binding you put in it. It's not going to help you with the board, man. And those things are just beefcakes, man. Fucking beefcakes. Like Those things will work you. They're amazing shapes. I like what they're doing, but holy shit, are those boards so torsionally stiff? Holy crap! Yeah. All right. Chuck Van, most durable gloves, mitts. Hestra, hands down. People can try to argue with me and tell me that it's a fucking ski company. It's not. It's a glove company. Just catered a little more to skiers. But I had a set of the trigger mitts and fucking absolutely phenomenal. That goat leather is durable as shit, dude. Like they're so strong. And if you take care of them, you will have them forever. Definitely world. Tom T, over 2.5 hours and no beastie bashing. Did you see the thumbnail? I've been mocking that motherfucker for days. Weeks. I don't need to. That guy sucks. I keep extending the offer. If he wants to do an open debate live stream, we could do one. Me and him with all of you guys supplying the questions, and we could see who could run circles around him. Just remember, when you see his videos and he's going, it's going to be 10 times worse when he's live. That dude does not know how to answer a question when you throw it out there. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Adam Colwell, I swear by the leather Malavitas will challenge to a sword fight anyone who disagrees. What kind of sword we talking here? Broadsword? Rapier? Cutlass? Scimitar? What kind of sword? I could be down for a sword fight. Kevin likes to play swords, but usually he just bends over and lets someone stab him in the butt. Tell me swords. Water bottle. Should I try to get Jay to send Casey Willick's stuff? No. I mean, I love Casey. Don't get me wrong. Great dude, but it's probably going to go to some address that he's not going to know, and then he's going to say some shit and be like, they never sent it to me, and then like 5 vlogs later, he'll be like, oh my God, they sent me this, and I was wrong. And it's not, with the way Jay operates, no. Tell Jay to send me boards, because if they show up even in 2 months, I'll still review them. Yeah. Chris Straticus, do you think the now drive binding will work well with the Solomon Assassin Pro? Yes, that'll match up. It'll be a little stiffer so you can drive with it if you're going for like sending it a little further, being a little more aggressive with it. Yes, 100%. That would be a great binding. That would be good. So, yeah. Oh, what else we got going on here? Oh, man. I'm falling apart over here. Rob Gams, what's your favorite outerwear brand? L1 Outerwear, Nitro's outerwear brand. L1 stands for Lucas Huffman 1. I have almost exclusively been wearing that for 15 years. So it's my favorite brand to go to. I like the cut on it. I like the way that it's designed, where the pockets are, everything like that. I actually just bought a new set. What I like is when you buy them, they're kind of tight, and then when all the seams start to release, they fit absolutely perfect for me. So I've been a huge one. Andrew Watt, send Buckhouse aboard. I know Rome is sending him Stolly's setup. Yeah, and he's not going to ride that to its full potential. Let's see what we got going on here. Ooh. Well, you guys are asking Kevin a ton of questions, which is awesome. Okay, what else we got going on here? Kale Mitchell, have you guys been to A-Basin or Keystone yet? I've got 6 days at A-Basin already this season. Went up three days so far this week. Kind of pacing myself because there's only 2 short runs, but I went up yesterday. They reported 4 inches. They had 10. I got there early enough. I got to blast like 3 side powder laps down Ramrod. Got a couple pow turns in. Basically cranked out like 12 laps in an hour and left to go walk a dog. So yeah. Hopefully by next week they'll have the top to bottom run open at A-Basin, and then the week after that, Copper should open. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, what else is going on?
Why did you suggest the Rome katanas? Sure, they may ride great, but to set them up, I almost popped a blood vessel in the process. Turns out the pivot mount was defective, and I sent it back. Sometimes shit gets broken, man. I don't control quality control with any company. I don't do it. When I get stuff, if it doesn't break on me, how the fuck am I supposed to know about the 500, 800, 1,000 other pairs that they make? I got a set of brand new black labels today, or the other day. Took a screwdriver to them, started turning it. It was in there a little tight. Had to shimmy it back and forth and do it. I'm from the generation that knows how to take apart a whole binding and put it right back together from scratch. That's what I used to do back in the day. Like, if you're having a problem with something, look at it and ask yourself, why does this not look right? Search it. Don't be afraid to reach out to customer service. And if they won't, reach out to me and send me photos and maybe I can do it. I don't control the customer service. A lot of people are always like, this broke on me. Well, were you doing something fucking stupid or was it a defect? I don't know. Shit breaks on people. It's like cars having recalls. Everyone's like, oh, this is the greatest car. And then there's that one person that's like, oh my God, everything fucking went wrong on it on me. Okay, so is that the one fuck. Tom T, if Marcus has some time, ask him to make some trick tips videos. Marcus does not have the time. He's doing his own thing. He's working on trying to get a super corporate career with Nike. It's amazing. I'm really proud of him and stoked to see where he goes with it. He might make a special guest appearance in some small stuff, but by and large, he's kind of moved out of this area and moved on and not really doing much in snowboarding anymore. So, yeah. Found Rome SDS website, been down, no one to contact. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they're still up. You got to do it. Maybe you have to do a little legwork. Don't be lazy. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. Dominic White. Okay, I love Tahoe, but it never hits here as early as Colorado. I'm dying. Well, yeah. Your guys' highest peak elevation is like our base area. We're just higher elevation, so there you go. Let's see what else we got going on here. Merlin Begurd, hey, what are your thoughts on the respective strengths of shred soles versus Remind Medic? Any other ones worthy of mention? Thanks a bunch. So the big thing between shred soles and Reminds are the way the instep is shaped, so the arch support. Shred soles tends to sit a little bit higher than Reminds. So if you've got like a flatter foot or a more collapsed arch, Reminds are better. But if you've got a higher arch or like a more defined instep, then shred soles. You could also look at the wintergreen super feet. Those ones tend to be pretty solid for snowboarders as well. Snifflick YT, have you ever boarded up at Mount Hood? Oh yeah, man. So I went to Windell's in 01, right after I graduated high school. That was my graduation present for myself. My family chipped in on that. I spent like 2 years saving to go. So I did that. When I lived in Washington, I used to drive down there about, what was it, maybe 7, 8 years ago. Mitsubishi gave us a car and $500 in gas. So we took a trip out to Mount Hood with Echelon Snowboards before they went defunct, and did a week trip up there. Mount Hood is always a fun time. I like it in short doses. I don't think I could do a whole summer, though. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Okay, what else we got going on here? Tom T, if you did the one board quiver thing, what length Captain Mercury would you use? 57. That would be the most versatile size for me, because then I could ride it for POW. I could still get park in on it and rip a groomer. I mean, I think that's probably the most size. Let's see. Let's see, am I missing something here? I think we're catching up on questions. Kale Mitchell, I live in central Michigan. It's about a 10-hour drive to Vermont through Canada and about 18 to go to Denver. Is it worth it to come out to Colorado? I've been out once,
but only went to Loveland. Right now, no. Right now is not the time, but we got 4 days of storms coming in Sunday through Wednesday, and they're calling for up to like another 20 inches. If that happens and stuff starts to drastically open, like I think right before Thanksgiving, before it gets too crowded, it would be good to come out for an early season shred trip, and you could stay, depending where you're at in Michigan. Like I know that from my parents' house to my door in Breckenridge, it's supposed to be 23 hours. My record is 18 and a half to make it from door to door. So you can definitely do it fast if you know what you're doing and you know how not to draw attention to yourself and still get away with speeding. So you could definitely do that. Yeah. Let's see. Steven Sanchez, best month to hit Colorado. The tail end of March to the start of April, depending if spring break fell early or not this year. Like that's the big telltale sign is like you want to make sure to check when college spring breaks are happening. And if they look like they're falling earlier, you want to go like the week right after and it'll pick up. But like April, by and large, it usually tapers off for a little while. People are getting sick of it. And even though Breck is staying open later and everything and A-Basin's open, but I've had amazing POW days in April. Like if you time it just right, you can be out here and just get a POW storm every day that drops like 8 to 12 inches every day. And it's super phenomenal. All right. Rob Gams, Avran, North Star, Squaw, end of January. Go to Squaw. I wouldn't even fuck with North Star. That place is flat. So let's see. I think that's kind of everything, but we're at 2 hours 43 minutes. I think Angry Late Night's going to end. I'm going to let some people throw up some more questions, but it seems like the same players are just asking the same questions. And I kind of want to just go eat this bag of Milano cookies and drink a Gatorade and get really fat tonight. So, yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Oh, you guys want another story? What kind of story? Want another story? Okay, let's see if I got any good angry stories. Oh, actually, yeah, I got a quick one for you guys. So this week, I went up and rode A-Basin like I always do, and I was riding my Telos Backslash, which, you know, short, stubby. It's got that weird cutout in the tail, so it's like comes out and points up to the peak in there. And there's this kook and his girl. I mean, full-blown, like, he had grenade stickers on his board and Never Summer stickers and just kooked out and old Special Blend outerwear. It's just not someone I really felt like talking. Plus, my headphones are acting up, so I can't mute them. And so I go to get in line. And the guy's he's talking at me. I'm not paying attention. I'm, like, over here looking like this. And skate on, and the guy's, like, talking at me again. And, okay. And then get on the chair, and he keeps talking at me and talking at me and talking at me, and I'm just not doing it. Finally, he, like, taps me, and I look at him, and he's talking at me about something about, like, wanting to know if I could ride that board switch, because evidently you can't ride something that's not a true twin switch. And I just looked at him, and I was like, and just said, I basically mouthed, "I'm deaf." And he was like, oh, okay. And proceeded to kept talking about the board to his chick, and he was talking about switch riding and shit. So like right after I strapped in, I waited till they got in front of me and went down past him riding switch, just carving switch right in front of mine. And the look on their face was fucking priceless, because they were like, did he just troll us? And, you know, that's something that I do all the time is if I don't want to talk to someone, I'll just pretend I'm deaf. I don't want to fucking hear them. I've got headphones in. I'm listening to music. I'm in the zone, Chief. Not now. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Mac Wendland, Mercury versus algorithm for all mountain, some park. If you're going more all mountain, that's the Mercury. If you want something that's more 50-50 all mountain and park, that's the algorithm. Algorithm is cheaper than the Mercury, so bang for the buck, it's super solid. Okay. Gabe Sua, what type of drug is your favorite drug? Ibuprofen. I need it every day to function because I've got the arthritis. So there you go. Okay.
All right, guys. Yeah, gonna call this a end of the night. 2 hours 46 minutes of Angry Snowboarder late night. We'll have a new podcast dropping. I'll probably just put it up tomorrow. It'll be audio format, and then I'll start editing the video segments of it. That podcast, we do go into detail on like 5 or 6 really shit products that are out right now for snowboarding. We didn't bring back the wheel of bad ideas, but yeah, so we got that. So new podcast that'll be up on Podbean, Stitcher, Google Play. Still haven't figured out why. Well, I kind of have figured out why it's not on iTunes, but yeah. Got one last super chat from John Brown. I know the best boot is the one that fits my feet. That being said, I've got Hobbit feet, wide forefoot, flat arches, narrow heels, and get terrible heel lift. Are there any brands I should look at? Yeah, go check out a K2. Go check out some of the K2 stuff, some of the ride. Burton might be too wide for you in the heel. The other thing is you can always check out our boot fitting 101 videos, and then we talk about J bars, butterfly wraps, C bars, everything like that. That'll help suck up the volume around it. But big thing is make sure you get the length right and the width right of the boot. Once you get that all taken care of, if your heels are still lifting, there's extra stuff you can do, and you can get all the supplies you need from tonar.com. On November 7th, my local shop, The Underground here in Breckenridge, is having a Locals Appreciation Day. You do not have to be a local to get the discount, but they're doing 20% off all new stuff in the store. They have a lot of stuff that you cannot get online. If you're going to be here for opening weekend in Breck, swing on through, check them out, let them know that Angry sent you. And if any of you guys need boot fitting help or anything when you're coming through here on the 7th, hit me up on my DMs on Instagram at Angry Snowboarder. Let me know. I can come in, do a custom boot fit, get some work done for you and whatnot, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, I'm going to be taking off right now. I got some stuff I want to get done. New episode of Can Kevin Carve It every Friday for the next 10 weeks. Also, new top fives either every Wednesday or Thursday, depending on timing and schedule. And binding reviews are coming. Once again, guys, thanks for everything, and hopefully we'll start making live streaming a little more of a weekly thing.